Well, hello everybody. How we doing? Wait a minute. Is someone has joined us from the center of the earth? I cannot believe it. Doomcock, thank you so much for coming out tonight. It's great to see you, sir.
Hey, great to see you. I had to turn out and support my guy Dino here. Heard he was going to come on and just wanted to pop in and say hi and send tip of the old hat to Dino. How y'all doing?
Good. Pretty darn well. You were absolutely right about Dino. We had such a great time talking in the green room, and we found that our birthdays are only 4 days apart and we're the exact same age. And it's just great to reminisce with somebody who's, I guess, is in that quasi old state like I am. So but thank you so much for showing up tonight, Doomcock. We really appreciate it. If you don't mind, sir, let's go around the horn and then we will get down to the business of praising Dino and supporting his channel. Does that work for you, sir?
That sounds great, and thanks for the invite, Salty Texas Sea. I'm sorry I can't stay longer, but let's hang out.
No, dude, sir, thank you for coming. I have watched your channel for a hell of a long time. You have brought me a lot of joy. Your songs, your humor, your observations have always kept me going throughout some dark times, even before I started this channel. And as I've mentioned to you, when you and I have corresponded, you were a big inspiration into me starting this. So speaking of big inspirations, we have Dino on from the Late Horror Show. And the reason why he's on the channel tonight is you had some problems with YouTube. Dino, go ahead and explain your situation and what we all can do to help and support you.
Oh, geez. Yeah, thank you. Hey, Doomcock, what's up, my friend?
Hey, man, good to see you.
Yeah. You know, I'm a fun guy, but I got to get on these shows and talk about some sadness. No, I got demonetized. I mean, what are you going to say? It's what YouTube does. It kind of dabbles in your life and messes things up right at the best point, you know. It started about a year ago, and I figured I'm going to quit my job because this is taking off, you know, and I'm going to do this full time because of all the messages I got, you know, it helping a lot of people out with anxiety. And we talked about the sicknesses. Had a nurse from a hospice hospital say, the minute I turn this on, everybody calms down. The stress is gone. They fall asleep. So wow. I said, you know, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do this. This is fantastic. So, you know, I started streaming the old time radio shows. Slowly, I started putting in like a little mansion. I got a little TV, the radio, Got a little ghost cat that's in there. Picture changes all the time. There's a little eyeball that moves around. So I have fun with it. Putting all the playlists together. It takes me about 4 or 5 hours sometimes every night to do all of this. People probably don't realize that. I could take it the easy way out and just whatever, just make it simple, and it's been done out there. But I take pride in what I do. I build a family, a community. They all rely on me. The supporters are fantastic. But yeah, I mean, it's just all about entertaining the people. And I got to notice that I wasn't original enough. I'm taking that to think it might be the movie nights, which I might eliminate.
Yeah.
But people love that too. But,
Dino, if it's okay, I'm going to go around the horn and start with our big time, big cheese guest from the center of the earth, Doomcock. Doomcock, how did you find the Late Late Horror Show, and what is your favorite show, if you don't mind telling us?
Well, I don't really know. I mean, I was just screwing around on YouTube, I guess late at night, looking for something to just kind of check out. I have sleep issues, and so it's nice to have something to listen to when I'm trying to go to sleep. And here was this very cool collection of late horror shows, and I've always loved old radio shows. I'm something of a voice actor myself, so it's kind of a natural gravitation. I've always wanted to hear things like Inner Sanctum and Dimension X and Zero, and all of these, The Shadow, and this channel had all of it, and I love the mansion. I love for the first time I actually amazing. It was amazing, and I really love the aesthetic. I love what Dino has done. I love sitting in that big room on a stormy night. It's kind of like my dream, I mean, it's to be in that wonderful mansion. I actually watched it for the first time. I got a big screen TV. Finally, like a really big one, and like in a home theater, and I'm sitting there in the dark, watching this and seeing like the shadow of the Grim Reaper on the door, and the eyeballs moving around, and it's just amazing. It's just so awesome, and I'm just, Dino, I was very happy to have him on Pop Culture Breakdown in the spotlight, and he's just a great guy, and I'm really heartbroken that this has happened, and I'm really hoping, Dino, is there going to be a review? Have you appealed?
I did appeal, and I think so many of my supporters sent so many messages via Twitter that the appeal process took like 12 hours, because usually it takes 2 weeks. But they said, no, after reviewing this, you need to do this. So they gave me a list of some stuff that I need to change. And basically it's deleting the videos that don't meet the standard, which, of course, the movies, but the old time radio shows, if I get rid of that the way I do that, okay, which I think are original in their own way. So who knows? Maybe if I just get rid of the movies and keep that, maybe they'll re-monetize me. I don't know. But
it's a crapshoot. I got nuked last week, and I got nuked by Paramount the week before. Max was there for that, and it's just arbitrarily my monetization was taken away for 24 hours, and I had to go back through and reset everything up. And I think maybe in Doomcock, maybe you'll understand this, is when you start talking about unidentified flying things and cryptids and stuff, they don't really like that kind of stuff.
Well, I don't know why. I mean, that's like bizarre to me, because it's not that the cryptids and UFOs are any way political. I mean, it's not like it's going to get the wrong guy elected or some shit. It's just fun. It's just fun, and I don't understand. God knows we're not trying to get them to join a cult. Hey, put on some sneakers, drink some Kool-Aid, and sail to the great beyond with me. No, that's
Well,
none of that shit. They're just having goofing off and having fun, and I don't understand why they'd be that concerned.
That's what I was gonna do, but okay, I won't do it. I won't.
Yeah, no, it's not a good idea. It's not a good idea.
I just want to shout out Dino. Dino, we talked about it before we went live. One of the shows that I've always loved is Sherlock Holmes with the original Nigel Bruce, Basil Rathbone. I own the complete 20 CD box set of those shows, but
Fantastic.
I still like listening to them on your stream. Like I said, when I've driven across the country multiple times, yours is the channel that I put on. And it's not just that. It's the Shadow. It's the Great Gildersleeve. It's Johnny Dollar. Johnny Dollar is an amazing show. But what can we do now that YouTube has put you in this bizarre limbo and you've got fans like Doomcock and then, you know, a little old up and coming channel like me trying to help you out? I know you have a Patreon. What can people do? We talked about your overhead, and I know you don't want to get in the weeds on that, but how can people support you in a meaningful way?
Yeah, we talked about this a little bit before we went live, but I mean, I'll never reach what I was getting when I was monetized. I'll never do it. But I did set a goal on Patreon where I would feel comfortable still doing this. I'm helping people out. It's a lot more. It means a lot more than just the money. Okay, so there's that. But Patreon is the way I'm going. And if you want to say screw YouTube, because honestly, if I get enough support on Patreon, I can say screw YouTube and do things the way I want it and not worry about fixing this or that. I've gotten so many people saying, why don't you sit there and like be part of the show so that it's original, like talk about it first, then introduce a show. That ruins the entire platform of what I've got. You know what I mean? So I can't do that. So the only way I can really keep this going is through Patreon. Or if they eventually monetize me back with the old time radio shows as I'm doing it now. So things are in limbo a little bit, but I'm going to try. So Patreon is the way. It is hard to get people to do that. I mean, I understand that, but I'm trying, and my supporters have come out. We're getting about 70% there already.
Good.
I'm happy about that. So fingers crossed.
I as soon as I saw your tweet, I tried to retweet it, and then, you know, I mean, good intentions without good actions don't lead to anything. So I'm on there. Like I subbed immediately, and I am very much looking forward to coming on your streams when you have them and talking about the old time radio shows, because I think this is something that it's part of our history, it's part of our culture, it's Americana. And you know, before the internet, we were all linked together by one common set of shared entertainment. And AM radio, FM radio shows, those old franchises are so important to, maybe, I guess you could say, an old guy like me, but I think to a lot of people. And Doomcock, how do you feel about that stuff? I know in your Friday night show, which I love, you do a lot of routines that to me should have been done with like Milton Berle or like Abbott and Costello, and I can't help but see what I think is an influence from those shows on you.
Oh yeah,
the throwback guy. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that stuff. In fact, Harvey and I recently performed a revision that I wrote of Who's on First. Instead of that, it's a rock concert. So it's the Who's on First, Guess Who's on Second, Yes is on Third. Which one I want to find out with silly names. I say. And so, you know, I mean, I've always loved this stuff. It's theater of the imagination. And and the beautiful thing about what Dino does is he gets it, you know, he doesn't overproduce it. I mean, I really love that environment that he set up where I can go into this lavish drawing room and sit down with you know, a great stereo system and a big picture, and just wonder and get kind of spooked because I don't know what's going to appear outside the window, and I mean that's like the best possible way to listen to these things on a stormy night in a dark lavish room where the picture of Barnabas Collins or
I know.
Vincent Price over the fireplace. And it's just a really wonderful, unique thing that speaks to the soul of people who like Dino and I love horror and monsters
Yes.
and spooks.
Yes.
I mean, I have a lot of the toys that he's displayed. So we think alike, you know, we think alike.
It's so funny.
There's boxes and boxes and boxes over there that I can't get in frame. So
Right. Oh, listen. Yeah. If you could look around if you could even look around this room, geez, I'm in right now. It's like, oh my God, it's hard to even find a place to put down your coffee. You know what I mean?
Right.
It sounds like you need a robot made in the center of the Earth, Doomcock.
Yes, I need a Rosie the robot like on the Jetsons.
Exactly.
You know.
Exactly.
Shall I clean this up, Mr. D? Yeah. Thanks, Rosie.
Well, Doomcock, you brought up a great point about Dino here, and that is true escapism. You know, true immersion into this world that he creates. And so it is unfortunate because Dino, I would call you a creator. You know, you aren't just a copy paste guy. And so that's why we're here, is because we all in our own way, we create something, and we hope that people can escape into this world. And for you, brother, it is this world of horror and in this world of like you were saying, Doomcock, like kind of uneasiness, kind of tension, the dark and stormy night. And some people love that. You know, I think a lot of people are drawn to that, and a lot of them fall asleep to it. You know, and so it's a beautiful way for them to exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I really like. Speaking of Johnny Dollar, you know, I'd never heard of that before at all, and it's like yours truly, Johnny Dollar, because it's not just Johnny Dollar. It's like it's a you know, it's basically a letter. It's like his report on his spending for the mission, and you know, and it's yours truly, Johnny Dollar. It's just wacky.
If you want to hear a really hard-boiled detective, listen to Pat Novak for Hire. The dames and all that good stuff. It's in there, man. Best one so far.
All the dames and the dolls with their gams. Yes,
come on, lady.
That's
the hot sweat.
That's right.
Exactly. Doomcock, I know you have to go. I really appreciate you coming on, and I'm sure Dino appreciates it too. Is there anything else you want to say on Dino's behalf, and any way we can close you out, sir?
Man, I just want you to stick with it, and you know, don't lose heart. And you know, whatever you do, don't delete those radio episodes. The movie thing, I never watched the movie. I mean,
right.
You know, I don't know what that's about. Probably a bad idea to do the movies, but you know, I mean, probably the radio shows are such a tangle of rights, you know, that nobody really cares about them. I mean, hopefully you haven't gotten any strikes on that kind of thing, because you know, it's antiquated. So I mean, stick to what's safe, and you know, keep at it, because this is a really, really fun thing. And I'm really hoping that people will sign up to your Patreon, or you will, like I said, like start, you know, a new channel with just like movie reviews and stuff, but keep kind of let that fund, you know, this on the side, you know, something along those lines. I hope that this will work out, because we just need a lot more of this kind of thing, you know.
Amen to that.
We really do.
Thank you.
Hey, Doomcock, is there anything you want to shout out, or do you need to head out and get some bourbon before the stores at the center of the earth close tonight?
Oh, I've stocked up. I stocked up when COVID hit. I just went with a big shopping cart and just threw all this. They looked at me like I was some kind of alcoholic, and it's like I'm in this for the long haul. You know what I mean?
That's what I do whenever I go to Specs. Yep, that's what I do when I go to Specs. I go big. So
I know, but I've always wanted to do radio shows. You know, I've always wanted to do like one of these detectives that talks like this. You understand? He talks real fast and he talks real slow. You know, it depends on the kind of thing. You know, it was a rainy night.
I've got.
It would have been great. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, they're public domain too. A lot of these old Inner Sanctum scripts and stuff, they're out there.
I
And
would
I
do
wanted
those in
to
a
kind of
second.
recreate those too, but hey, I'm taking on too much as it is. But
I know. Reach out to me. I would love to help you with that, Tino. I would love to do
it'd be
that.
cool. It'd be
Absolutely.
cool.
But hang in there, Dino. Stay strong, buddy. And
I
I'm really,
will.
really sorry about this. This is just very sad.
It's all right, man. I appreciate it. Kind words. Thank you very much. You've been a big supporter. Love your show. So yeah, thank you, man.
You're welcome, brother. Just hang in. We'll stay in touch. We'll do something. We'll do something
For sure.
soon.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Remember, I'm
Cool.
a fun guy too, man. I hate all this stuff going on.
Oh, I
I'm all about
know. I
having-
know.
I've
Yeah,
got lots
obviously.
to
I mean,
say.
you got a great sense of humor, and you I mean, obviously, you're at one after my own heart with all your amazing toys there.
100%.
Okay. You take care.
Thanks for coming, Doomcock.
Thanks
you
so
bet,
much
you
for coming
guys.
out,
Hey,
Doomcock.
Salty Texas Sea, please. Thank you for the invite. Subscribe to Salty Texas Sea if you haven't, and support him. He's a good guy.
Thank you, DC. I hope you have a great evening, sir.
Thank you, and I just say all the other guys on the panel. Thank you. Good to meet you all, and just want to say appreciate you having me on.
It's an honor and a pleasure.
Honor.
And
sir.
good night,
Thank you.
everybody.
Good
Oh, it's
night,
Harvey.
Harvey.
Don't
Dude,
press the
and-
button. Don't press the
No,
button.
dude, don't stop. Don't stop doing it, Dino.
Do it.
Don't stop
Do
doing
it.
it. It's too good, man.
Hmm.
Too good.
Harvey. Thank you, Doomcock.
We'll see you later.
Take care.
Take it
buddy.
easy.
Thanks.
Laters, man. Take it easy.
Bye-bye.
Yes, I will come on your show this Friday, Doomcock. Yes, I will.
Yeah, that happened. That was really
Wow.
cool.
happened.
So no, I really do like Doomcock a lot. Like I said, I love his Friday shows, and honestly, part of the reason that I brought you on, Dino, was him talking about you guys speaking. And I was like, you're reaching out, you're trying to build a community, and I really respect that. The other thing is you took something that no one else was doing and committed yourself to it, and you take pride in it. And I have so much respect for that. So anything we can do to support you, you're welcome to come on the channel again. I'm obviously going to put the link in this show episode. I don't know if we can, Zax or Punk Waddle. Hail to Punk Waddle for modding, by the way. If we can throw the link out to the Patreon site for you, Dino, that would be really great. So anything, Dino, before you go, you got coming up that you want to shout out, that you want people to know about?
Oh, geez. There's well, thanks again. But
Anytime, dude. Anytime.
I've got stuff every night, surprises every night, whether it's a detective show the night. Tonight I got Journey into Space. It's a science fiction show, and it's really, really good. So what more can I say? Tonight's science fiction night. Tomorrow might be detective night. Might be some horror shows. So yeah, every night it's different. Expect something different and unique every night. So that's all I can really say. And I appreciate all you guys, and thank you very much. Yeah.
You're welcome back anytime, Dino. And again,
Thank
I really respect what you do. Anybody, Gray, Max, anything you want to call out that you like, that you might want to listen to, or anything, Zax, anything you guys want to call out before Dino goes?
I was actually going to ask Dino a quick question. What is your favorite show that you produce? Do you like more the detective stuff, or more of course your room is much more horror oriented, but is there one in particular that you really enjoy that like speaks to you as a creator?
Yeah. I'm a horror guy, at heart, but believe it or not, some of my favorite shows are not horror at all. I'm Abbott and Costello. It's a comedy.
Yeah.
But my all-time favorite is, just like Corey there, Sherlock Holmes with Basil Rathbone and Nigel Bruce.
Yes, it's perfect. It's perfect, dude. They're perfect episodes.
Yeah.
Basil.
It's perfect. It takes you right back. If it's just those two characters, Watson, Nigel Bruce, mumble. I mean, there's shows where he just mumbles.
I know.
It's fantastic.
Well, he mumbles and conveys emotion. Like he mumbles happy, he mumbles sad. I mean, he mumbles confused, and it's like, how the hell does he do that? Nigel Bruce was a genius.
Oh, he was great. He was great, and he did a whole lot of the radio shows after, even when Basil Rathbone left. But to answer your question, that's my favorite. And then, you know, like I said, I like a lot of the comedies too, Abbott and Costello and stuff like that. So, yeah.
That's awesome, man. Well, thank you.
Brilliant. I'm a big fan of the sci-fi and the horror, so I'll be checking those out. The classic, is it like 30s, 40s, or 50s? Sci-fi and horror sounds good to me.
Oh yeah, all of those. I even got some Doctor Who episodes up there too.
Oh wow!
12-hour stream.
Nice,
dude. Yes, I know. That's awesome.
That's awesome.
I'm into the Shadow, who's super hardcore. Shadow.
Oh hell yeah!
When I was growing up, there was an AM channel, a small one that just played radio shows, but you never knew which one. There was no schedule for it, so you just tuned in and fell asleep and hoped for the best.
Cool.
Right. Well, that's how I kind of came to know about these. I was a teenager, and it was hard for me to sleep one night, the anxiety, everything else. And one Christmas Eve, I turned on the AM radio station, and I heard Sherlock Holmes, and I never looked back. I was a big fan ever since then. So that's kind of what got me hooked on it. But I love all those detective noir shows too. The most popular in the whole world right now is Jack Benny, and followed shortly by Johnny Dollar. So those are in order right there. But yeah.
Dino, thank you so much for coming on. Like I said, we're going to keep dropping your link to your Patreon account to support you after the YouTube shenanigans. I thank you for making the time. We had trouble connecting because you work hard to make these things happen. I really appreciate you coming on tonight. And I really appreciate Doomcock coming on as well, and I know you do too. So, Dino, again, be in touch. If I can ever help you out on your channel, please do. And any of the guys on this panel, I'm sure they would love to come on too. So,
yeah, sure. Yeah. Thank you very much, Corey. And it was nice meeting Gray and Max and Zax, and I'll check your channel out, you guys's. I'll eventually get over there. But thank you very much, and I will leave and let you guys do your thing, even though I'm sure I got plenty to say. If you guys are talking Lord of the Rings, man. But anyways, I'm going to go. I'm going to get some
you got the link. When we get to it, if you're not busy, you jump back on, because I'll be watching, because trust me, we will be getting to the Lord of the Rings tonight.
Oh, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. Nice to meet you, mate. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you guys. And thanks for what you're doing there, Corey. I appreciate it, man.
Yes, sir. Thanks so much, Dino. We will talk to you soon. Have a good evening.
Okay, thanks, you too. You guys take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Hey, look who it is.
Oh, what did I do? I boomered something. No, I think he boomered something.
Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah. So Gray will come back eventually. But, you know, as we've all learned, well, hey, Max, how you doing? How's it going? Thanks for coming on the show.
I'm on the big screen, guys.
I know.
Handsome guy.
That's why we brought you on. Someone's got to balance out the ugly on the show. So how are you doing, Max? What's going on?
Hold on. Before we go, you guys have to know this. When he's not on camera, Max is doing push-ups.
I know. I'm sure he is.
That's it.
just you had to get that out there, right?
I did, yeah.
Just real quick, yeah. No, I appreciate it. I have to refrain from doing push-ups on camera. I have to remember, like, hey, I have to look presentable. I have to, but you bet your ass that I'll do push-ups right before I get on camera, you know, and then I wear like a tight shirt. No, I'm kidding. But yeah, no, it's great to be here, guys. Hail chat. Hey everyone in chat. And man, what incredible guys that we just had on. Doom and excuse me, Dino. Super humble, super creative, great channels, established, you know, well-earned channels. Yeah, man, really, really great to have them on. And thanks to Salty for putting that all to Salty and Zax for putting that all together and bringing these guys on. Such a cool experience to like just to talk to them and hang out with them for a bit and just to kind of hear their stories. So really grateful to have them on as well.
Yeah, and some inside baseball. I didn't want to spook Max or Gray about who our big potential guest might be until I was pretty sure it was going to happen. So about 5 minutes before the stream, I sent him a tweet saying I'm pretty sure Doomcock's coming on. So all of us were jumping up and down, screaming like teenage girls at a Beatles concert, and then we pulled it together before.
I was screaming, "Run away! Run away! Run away!"
Yeah, I saw a tweet that Zax had put up. And Zach said something on his tweet like, "You're not going to believe what guest we have tonight." And I go, "Well, it sure as hell ain't me because I ain't know anything."
No, so me.
It must be Gray.
No, way, man.
And then I saw that Salty, you DM me the guest, and I was like, "Oh, now we're talking," you know. But
I was keeping those cards close to my vest. That's all I'm going to say. So
I appreciate it.
Dropping hints.
Yeah, right. So super cool.
Let me say, Gray, I want to bring you up on the big screen, but let me get to this super chat from the new daddy, Lyle Hammock. If I remember correctly, your wife gave birth last week as a brand new father. Lyle Hammock, hail to you. And it has been a while since I've done this because YouTube came after me, but this one is for you, Lyle.
For Frodo.
Sometimes there is a timelessness to that clip. To me, it's a very special one. But hail to you again, new daddy Lyle Hammock, $50 super chat. You guys are amazing. Hail all you amazing people on the panel. Just wanted to say thank you for all your amazing content. Thank you. His wife is actually listening, oh my God, through your live streams, both to entertain herself during the day and to find out why I won't shut up. And it is cut off, of course.
About your channel.
Oh, and why you won't shut up about your channel. Well, Lyle, I think the answer is obvious. It's because you have really great taste. And you can tell her I said that, and she can send me hate tweets on Twitter if she wants, or get her, or mines, or whatever it is. Lyle, it's really great to see you. My enthusiasm for you becoming a new father, I have so much respect and so much admiration, sir. So I know that child is going to have a great dad and obviously a great mother too. Hail to you, Lyle Hammock.
I want to jump on that quick. Corey,
congratulations.
Jump on that because Lyle Hammock's got a little girl, and we talked in chat already a little bit about it, but he's hitting that 1 week wall, which is when your adrenaline's gone and the baby's awake. And yes. I'm telling you, it gets better, Lyle. It gets better.
Yes.
For me, full times it was around 2 to 3 months. Things were smoothed out. You will get through it. It's going to suck a bit, but you'll get through it.
Yeah. Stay away from carbohydrates. Eat like real whole food. The last thing you want to do is get that quick pop of sugar. You want to kind of like you're running a marathon because that's what it is, IMHO. So again, congratulations, Lyle. Little girl. Boy, you're in trouble now, aren't you? Okay. Well, this is why I love this chat. This is why I love this community. You guys show up every week, and for some reason you listen to me talk and you listen to smart people like Gray and Zax and MVP come on board. So thank you all for that. So Gray, you, sir, we were on that 70s rock fan show yesterday talking about vinyl for a little while. Here we are back again. How are you doing, Gray?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. I was really starstruck before Salty, seeing Max von Priestley in the show. I can't believe it. Who else was it? Doomcock popped in too, didn't he? Yeah. I remember Doomcock. I'm just joking. Like I used to watch his show with Gary. Was it the Exozone? I miss those shows, man. I miss that. UFO style.
Somebody's making another version of that. Somebody's
really.
Yeah.
Who could it be?
That would be me and Zax and whomever. wants to be part of that conversation, including
Don't do it.
people
YouTube
on
will come after
this
you. They'll
chat.
send the men in black
That's all
straight
right.
after you, man.
That's okay. We'll come up with clever terms like
Okay.
drape and Yahtzee and things like that.
And there's so much snow up here they can't get to me.
It's true. So, Gray, part
Yes.
of the reason that I was turned on to you was when you, sir, had MVP on your channel. And I watched you two having conversations about comics that I didn't know and about 40K and other things that blew my mind. And one of the things that I've always wanted to do is have people who have different fandoms than I do tell me why they love the stuff that they do. And so I look forward to you all doing that tonight. I know we have a tear sheet out there of, I always put together a list of what we're going to go through show by show, but is there anything out of the gate that you wanted to maybe talk about, Gray, before we proceed into what I put together?
Yeah, if it's okay, just very briefly, I made a video on this. I'm sure a lot of people know about it out there, but Amazon not only of killing Lord of the Rings, but they've killed Comixology as well. They've killed the digital comics reader, guys. Can you believe it?
Yeah, this one hurts. This one hurts. More so for you, Gray. I mean, and for all of our international comic book fans. I mean, the only thing keeping them in the comics game is Comixology right now, or was Comixology, I guess I should say. And that digital reader. So, man, Gray, my condolences to you, brother, because my comic shop is 15 minutes away. I can drive there and pick up a floppy, but it just proves that they truly don't have any clue of what they're doing, and that it's just hubris at this point. It's their own arrogance that is hindering them from producing anything good, whether it's Lord of the Rings or comic books.
At the end of the day, it's a small thing, isn't it? It's only a small thing, really. I'm just another old white guy moaning about comics, but I can't get physical comics anymore. I can't get hold of them. My nearest comic shop is about a 12-hour plane flight to Manchester in the UK. So, I have to get digital. It's not by choice. It's kind of by necessity. But I got into it, and I got into the reader. They had a really nice reader on the Comixology app where you could see it on the big screen. You could go panel by panel.
Oh yeah.
Like watching a movie or an animation at times, but it was so good. That's gone now. It's out the window. They've just merged it with the Kindle reader, and it's in color. You can do panel to panel, but they're about this big now, the panels. It's just stupid. Okay, that's it. Rant over, Salty.
In case, for people who may not know, can you explain what's happening with Comixology?
Oh yeah, sure. Well, Amazon bought them.
Guys.
Yeah, Amazon bought them a while ago. I think they bought Comixology about 2014, and they've been talking about merging the two different sites together, because you can understand that. It takes a lot of work to have these two sites, and hosting digital comic files, it must take a huge amount of space. Max, what do you reckon?
I'm not sure how the actual software works and what that would look like, but you would think that if Amazon truly does want to be the best and at the highest level of everything, whether it's their media or their books or their pricing, whatever it is that they want to excel at, you would think that they would put the money into the software to make it the highest level experience for the reader. But it just shows that they don't care. I wanted to say, Gray, as well, that you had mentioned that you said, oh, well, it doesn't really matter because it's just going to hinder the reading process, and I'm just one guy. I will tell you, brother, that one of my friends has reached out to me who is an author and writer, writer, publisher, and editor over at Mad Cave. He just came out with a trade paperback. Yeah. And Mad Cave Publishing is just another comic book publisher. And him and one of his friends, the only way that they're able to get through all the comics and read all their comics is through Comixology. And now it's taking them hours to try and read these things because of just how difficult the new software is of trying to do this Kindle reader and stuff. So it's not just you, my man. It's these are professionals who are saying, I have to have Comixology in order to do my job properly.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate.
Is there, I tried Comixology and I downloaded a bunch of stuff before I actually looked at it on my handheld device. And I even got one of those big Kindle 10 things,
Oh, nice.
And I tried reading it and I was like, I didn't like it. I didn't like trying to read comics that way.
Yeah,
And maybe it's
I
because
understand.
I'm so analog. But are there any particular comics, and this is open to anybody, including in chat, is there a really good comic that really shows up well, that is memorable in Comixology, that you would be like, yes, this is the reason why I can read comics electronically or on a screen?
Wow, difficult question.
I'll let you take this one, Greg, because you probably read more on the actual platform than I do.
Okay. So. Wow. Yeah. Put me on the spot there. No. Basically, it means you can zoom in on the panels, and when it's a good download, it looks fantastic. You can zoom into the details. You can enjoy the art. You can take screen captures of the art. You can put it on your desktop, whatever. But as a good comic, I don't know, mate. Sorry, any comic could be good, but maybe Sean Gordon Murphy's the Batman. Was it the Curse of the White Knight, Max? Yeah, Batman White Knight, which is a great limited miniseries. It's about 8 issues, kind of a bit of a reimagining of Batman, and he's the writer and the artist on it. And I remember your boy Zach on his channel, he was raving about it because he got into Comixology late. He's a big physical media guy like me, like I used to be. I much prefer the real comic, but I had to kind of get used to the digital format. And I was enjoying it, and I use it for my channel too, Salty and Max, as you know.
Let me jump in real quick and you guys keep going. I just want to shout out Snowdub, who entertains me greatly. And for some reason seems to time his shows after I've had probably one too many bourbons, so that I end up giving him way too much damn money to watch puppets humping each other and being crazy. But his channel is some of the best YouTube out there. It is brilliant. It is extemporaneous. It is truly creative. And if we lived in a more civilized world, that would be broadcast on children's television every Saturday morning. So hail to you, Snowdub. Snowdub's actually volunteered or lost a bet. He's going to be on the show next week. I hope he is after watching this. But Snowdub, we can't wait to have you on. And I know that you also run in the same circles or end up in the same police lineups as Floral from Under a Rock and Wilton and all that stuff. So hail to you, Snowdub. Sorry, guys, go ahead.
Hail, Snowdub.
Here's a question, because I remember reading The Dark Knight Returns, The Killing Joke, all in that graphic novel form. Have you tried to look at those? How about this? Are there comics from the golden age or from the silver age do they translate well to Comixology, or is it mostly the new stuff that you really have to, I guess, roll with? Because I'm a complete noob at this.
I guess for me, the differences that you're getting with some of the silver, bronze age comics that you buy right off the rack, they're going to have a little bit of that. They're obviously going to have the smell. They're going to have the tactile, functionality.
So important.
They're going to have some mistakes. So maybe some like ink smudges, or maybe like the coloration of the pages will turn a little bit yellow as opposed to that bright white. And what you're getting on Comixology is basically the scanned version of those pages, and then with enhanced colors. So a colorist will come in, make all those pages white, and will turn like all the normal colors of the book and maybe put more saturation into them or whatnot. So I'll actually pull out an example of what like an older golden or silver age comic looks like, and if you guys want to see it, and then kind of like what an enhanced version would look like, whether that's from a photocopy of a trade paperback or from Comixology. Both, I think, like if you're looking for artwork, I think Comixology was a great tool, because as beautiful. As Gray was saying, you can zoom in on a lot of these images, and like for Echo Lands, for example, which is a newer book, if you take a look at some of the artwork, you can zoom in on some of that stuff and see the shading and the sketching and the inks. Like you can see all of that and the intricacies of that. So I do think it's good for that. But for the purposes of like nostalgia and seeing the craft and the art, having the hard copy is really preferable to me.
Yeah, but, me too.
It's it's all subjective, and I know a lot of people who are like, after Comixology came out, I never picked up a single issue again because I didn't need to, but it's also space,
Yeah.
You got long boxes full of, or rooms full of long boxes of comics, and you can store that all on Comixology, which, sorry, I don't mean to talk more.
Stop it. I want you to talk. I didn't bring you on the show just to sit there and look pretty, Max. So thank you for speaking.
I exist to be easy on the eyes for you. Okay.
I appreciate
Thank
that.
you, Max. Thank you.
Ooh.
I will not pull a Frosk, because though she thinks she's not easy on the eyes for you, I solely exist to be easy on
yes. But Max, she is the Brad Pitt of lesbians. She is the Brad Pitt of lesbians. So
that's true. We can't deny that. I will say real quick, and then I'll hand it back over to you guys. But one of the horrifying things about this whole merger that I've been hearing is that people who have transferred all of their comics over to Comixology and gotten rid of their single issues and stuff and just bought digitally, hundreds of thousands of comic books, they haven't been given access to a lot of them because of this whole transfer. Some of them have been lost in translation. Some of them just aren't showing up. Yeah. And Gray, I don't know if you spoke about this. I haven't gotten a chance to watch your latest video, but I mean, that's truly one of the horrifying parts about this, is that people have paid hundreds of thousands of dollars, for hundreds of thousands of these digital books, only to find that they aren't showing up in their hard drive for.
I remember hearing that. I think it was a year or two ago, that either that or things were just gone, and that had been there previously because of bizarre licensing rights issue as well. It's inconvenient. It takes up a lot of space, but I'm gonna tell you my holy mantra: buy physical media. Because if it's one thing we all know, is that the problematic currently, whether it's on Disney or another studio, comes with a warning label. How long before it's just not there because it's not in line with things. So let me get to the super chat and let you guys continue on. This is from Thunder Sensei 150. I'm going to cue you something cool up. Here you go.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Hail to you, Thunder Sensei 150. This is a $19.99 super chat. Says, the first voiceover job I had was a fan cover of The Killing Joke. Great freaking graphic novel. Let's just run with that. Let's talk about those Batman graphic novels. The Killing Joke.
Oh, fantastic.
You guys tell me what you love about those. Tell me, is that your favorite? Is there something else? You guys just run with this. I love we're talking about comics tonight.
I've actually got the original. I remember buying it when it came out. I'm that old, Salty, Max. As you guys know, I'm an old man.
Did too.
Still got it with me. Oh, you got it, man, yeah? Okay.
Oh, I bought it. When I was a kid, I bought that damn thing. It was a lot of money back in the day.
It was a lot of money. I remember the hype before it came out, because it was, it was Alan Moore and Brian Bolland getting back together, the Watchmen team. Oh, wait a minute. Sorry, that's Dave Gibbons, isn't it? Getting mixed up. Dave Gibbons, Max? Brian Bolland? Whoa. Just a big brain fart, Salty. What can you do?
I have to look at that again.
But it's such a good story. It's, what do you call it? It would be very problematic, shall we say, these days. Do you know what I mean? There's a certain scene in there where something happens to, I won't say what happens, but something happens to Batgirl, to Barbara Gordon. And the Joker is trying to make her father, Commissioner Gordon, he's trying to make him crazy. He's trying to prove a point that one bad day can, send you over the edge, can make you go insane. It's a great, great story. It's very dark.
Yeah, and as Purple Valkyrie had stated earlier, she said something in the chat, the Chuck Dixon run of Batman, which lasted forever, and introduced us to Bane. introduced us to the breaking of the bat.
Yeah.
So yeah, Chuck Dixon's run on Batman is another great one. You know, it's not just a solo, you know, few issues. We're talking about hundreds here, you know, an entire series, an entire run of great stuff by Chuck Dixon. So he has also written The Punisher. So you're also going to get a little bit of Punisher Batman in Chuck Dixon's work. So I really appreciate what he's done with bats too. So I was
I got a story.
I was just go ahead, brother.
My favorite Batman goes back to I was the right age at the right time, but it was A Death in the Family.
Oh yeah, that was a good Batman. I like that a lot. Actually,
I was honestly surprised that they did that, and I was at the age where I didn't think there was any chance they would go through with that. So yeah, I followed that one very closely. That's a favorite.
I mean that initial cover, I have that cover here. It's, you know, the one where Robin is like bloodied and beaten, and it's like just it's in your face type of cover. You can't not see that, and it's brutal. I mean, if you're looking at that as a kid, you're like,
yeah, man. I used to have them, Max. I used to have the individual issues. Oh my god, Lost to Time and Space. You know what I mean? But they put it up to a phone poll, like, you know, decide, does Robin die? And there were 2 numbers to call. You know, yes or no. And it was the States, so I didn't call, of course, from Manchester, from the UK. But I was like, there's no way they're going to kill him, surely.
Yeah, it's crazy.
From what I hear, it was like an outstanding kill him. It was like a very high percentage of people saying kill him.
Yeah.
Not a lot of people wanted him to stay around.
And it was brutal.
It was
brutal as well, man. What they did. Wow.
Yeah.
And it was his mom too involved in it. It was dark.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think she was she a drug addict as well? It was it's unbelievable when you think back. This was like, you know, the regular Batman title, man.
Also think about that the really controversial cover of Green Lantern, I believe, where Green Arrow's you know, sidekick, what is his name? I'm blanking on his name.
I don't remember. I know what you mean.
Yeah, and he's like shooting up.
On
the cover. Arsenal, yeah, thank you. I believe it's him who's like shooting up on the cover of the Green Lantern cover. Pretty wild stuff what they were able to get away with back in the day.
Yeah, one of the comics, it sounds crazy, but this is a subgenre, and it was a comic book that came out, I think it was in '84, called The Nom. And it was, of course, as you would guess, a Viet. You know it. You know.
I used to buy it. I used to buy it, man. Sorry, yeah.
That was something I collected more religiously probably than anything else out there, and the artwork was amazing. It was a gritty view of you know, a different enlisted guys' experiences in the different branches of service throughout Vietnam. It was an absolutely incredible comic book, in my opinion. So let me get to the super chat. This is again from Daddy Man, Mr. Big Daddy Lyle Hammock. Let me get you something out of the bag of tricks. Let's see. Let's do this.
Don't clip that.
Target that explosion and fire.
Fire!
Fire!
I know.
It's so cool.
This one again. This is Lyle Hammock for $5. Says, speaking of comics, last year I found completed comic for The Hobbit done by Chuck Dixon, the only comic or graphic novel done of Middle Earth. I'm going to defer to you, Gray and Zach, on this one. If there is such a thing, take my money. Do we know about this?
That's news to me. Zax, do you know anything about that? That's news to me, mate.
I know nothing about that. I'm sorry. I wish I did.
Chuck Dixon, that sounds awesome.
I know he did Wheel of Time.
Oh, yeah. And I just got my first. I showed you that the other day, didn't I, Gray? Or no, it was Jaden Hamilton who's in our chat. I was telling him about that. I got my first real copy of that, the Wheel of Time graphic novel #1.
Oh, wow. Is it good?
It is absolutely amazing. And yeah, it's we talked about it in earlier shows that Robert Jordan was actually sending notes to Chuck Dixon related to how particular he wanted the characters drawn, particularly the Aes Sedai. All of that, the level of detail is incredibly faithful to the source material of the author, something that, as we've seen, seems to be virtually non-existent anymore. So, Zax, do you know anything about that at all? Does anybody in the chat shout it out? I mean, first of all, thank you so much for that $5 super chat, Lyle Hammock. That is just fantastic. And Max, did you hear what we were talking about? The Chuck Dixon version of The Hobbit. There's apparently a completed set of that. Do you know about that at all?
I do not know about this. You guys can take my comic collecting card away then, because I was not aware of that. Yeah, that's pretty rad.
That's crazy. And I'm like, yeah. And there's another chat that we had, and I'm not sure of the context, but speaking about not being faithful to the source materials, this is the Thad that shouldn't be. Hail to you. Good guy, started his own channel. He and I spoke a couple weeks ago about him just starting it and go out like we all did. Make that first video, start riding the horse and fall off of it and get back on the horse. So hail to you, the Thad that shouldn't be. I watch your videos every day, and don't give up. Just keep working at it, because I was in the same spot, and we all started out with that first video. So yeah.
Looks like he has an answer for us too.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is the nerds. This is the guy behind the guy when it comes to the deep lore. He says there is a Lord of the Rings comic, from the late 1970s, IIRC. It had something to do with so it was based on the Bakshi movies release. And then in the 1980s, Chuck Dixon wrote a 3 or 4 issue miniseries for The Hobbit. He owns it. Okay, I'm gonna go on eBay, and you guys can just talk among yourselves, because I need this thing. This is baffling. You guys talk about this. Have you guys heard this? I don't know. I don't know. For real. But Gray and Max, I think we might have talked about it, Max, the last time we were here. Purple Valkyrie, who's in the chat, who is a lovely, lovely person, and she was such a joy to have on last week. Hey, thank you. If you haven't subscribed to Purple Valkyrie, please give her a sub. She's a lovely person, and she knows her Tolkien, among so many other things. So, but you guys, what do we think about the Bakshi films? Do you have any positive, negative views on them at all? And just kind of run with that while I go on eBay for a second.
Shout out to Purple Valkyrie as well. That was a great stream when she was on. Really enjoyed listening to it. Yeah, she's
amazing to work.
I'm gonna drop her a link right now.
Yeah,
Max, have you seen the Bakshi version, the animated one?
You know what's funny is I haven't. I grew up on the Peter Jackson films.
Yeah, right on.
And I'm sure, and Purple Valkyrie. We'll talk about this later, because I know that we briefly spoke about it a little bit. With Vikings, the new Viking show that's about to come out. And Purple, we might have to create a whole nother genre while we're waiting for the Lord of the Rings of the Vikings series, because Vikings will be on Netflix right in between the next 7 months that Lord of the Rings comes out. So we'll see, because I know she's going to have some amazing takes on what's going on in the Vikings. But as far as the Bakshi films, I actually never saw those. I started with Peter Jackson, and then from there I just became immersed with what they had done, because there have been so many iterations of Tolkien, but specifically with Peter Jackson and Weta Workshop, and what these producers and directors and creators had done with that film series, that was what I was so interested in. So I never dug into the Bakshi stuff. I should, as a true fan, I absolutely should, but I haven't yet, unfortunately.
It's hard to find it. It's hard to get hold of it. I only saw it when it was on TV, when I was younger, back in the UK, and they didn't finish it. They only made the first part of the story. I don't even know if they finished Fellowship, but it was good. It's interesting.
You guys aren't going to believe this. I was able to complete my entire Bakshi set on DVD, except for one video, going to Goodwills and thrift stores throughout throughout the Pacific Northwest and Seattle area when I lived there. This is about a decade ago, because hipsters like to buy things and not watch them and give them away, and so I took advantage of that. You know, much like they're going to do. With the Lord of the Rings, and I think we're finding ourselves, gentlemen, into a drift into the subject we're going to get to. We can cover some of those other topics unless anyone has an issue with that. I would love to segue in this, and I think the Thad, that shouldn't be. It's a sign from the creator that maybe we should look at talking and now moving into the Lord of the Rings. So everybody has heard everybody's take on the Lord of the Rings 24 hours a day for the past 21 days. Is that fair? Here's the thing, Max, I think we were talking in the green room before we started the show. You can't keep up with what the heck is going on. You honestly cannot keep up with anything that is happening. If you start to make a video, if you go have lunch, everything that you just recorded has been superseded by the latest amount of stupidity that their marketing department. Remember the one that they said we need to have a global audience? We need to make a show that appeals to a global audience. This has to be a success. Well, and this is not hyperbole, and you guys correct me if I'm wrong here. I don't think I have ever seen anything more effed up in my entire life. I mean, this is insanity. $1 billion, and they've got a bunch of people who should be, I don't know, working in school cafeterias, slopping mashed potatoes on the plastic trays, not in charge of this show. No, am I being unfair?
You know, even if they were slopping mac and cheese and mashed potatoes on some poor kid's, tray, they would still find a way to make it about them. You know, they would still find a way to make it about their influence, and they'd be taking pictures and putting it on Instagram and saying, look at us helping the marginalized children of society. And like, look at how inclusive we are, and including all these kids. And like, bro, you're serving lunch. Get over yourself. You know, you're not as virtuous as you seem. Yeah. And I'm not going to take, I don't want to take, all the time away from you guys, because I also want to hear what you guys say about this. But the big thing I got from this was like, we have all been in a comic shop, we've all been in a game store, we've all been in a, you name it, nerd environment or a Comic-Con or something. When nerds get together, they talk about the characters, the storyline. They talk about how incredible would it be if we found out that Melkor, otherwise known as I'm blanking on the other name that he later becomes, but Melkor, who is the successor to Sauron, who is, in my opinion, one of the most evil beings in Middle Earth, and actually comes in the First Age. I mean, he has an army of Balrogs in the First Age. And I'm thinking, hey, if they're going to do like the First Age stuff, or they do like a few episodes of a beginning and then into the Second Age, that starts with Melkor and his army of Balrogs. Morgoth, thank you, chat. Thank you to Melkor becomes Morgoth. Why aren't these super fans talking about, hey, we might see Morgoth. Maybe Morgoth is who we see flying out of the sky in this meteor, and armies of Balrogs, and the armies of Elvish kings coming to fight off blah blah, and the Númenorian. These people that are in this video are talking nothing of actual lore or characters or storyline, and I think that's
I wonder really why
signals.
I wonder why
they have no clue.
Speaking of which, Max, you set something up absolutely perfectly. You guys in the chat have asked it, especially those on my members Twitter account have said, well, you must cover this. You must do something with that video of that Amazon super fan group of people. Here you guys go.
Middle Earth had like a club.
Yo, this tune is banging! Wow. The Lord of the Rings, the Rings of Power. just dropped with a teaser trailer, and I'm here.
With the Fellowship of Influencers.
Wow. Representative, because we're getting like more diversity within this series.
Wow. We're introduced to the first black elf.
Now diversity.
Team's work was always about being inclusive.
Wow.
It's just gonna mean so much to like me personally, because it's getting that representation in middle there.
Oh hey, there's someone that looks just like me.
More diverse.
More diverse.
being included as well.
Growing up, like I was still excited about being an elf or a hobbit and joining in with it.
Even though I wasn't represented, like either like my disability or my queerness wasn't represented.
Wow.
There you go.
If I could quote the main guy there. Wow.
I just
I
could.
That was
I
so
gotta jump on
bad.
this one. It's I did a video about this yesterday, and it's doing pretty well for me, so I'm happy about that. So I do appreciate all of this, I really do. But the one thing is the black elf is Puerto Rican, so he's not actually black. But that's, you know, I guess that's a detail that's not that important for them, really. And there's also
everything,
a German version, I think, and a Dutch version of the same video.
Yes.
With
Yeah.
even more
I meant to put those things together, but I ran out of time. And so, yeah, I pulled a bunch of those. And what I'll probably do is in the videos that come out from this, because you all know that I like to clip them, I'll drop some of those images in. And what was you guys remember the name of that channel? That guy is a rock star. Talk about, like, we were talking about Sherlock Holmes earlier. That gentleman, is it Dispari? Do you guys remember in chat? Do you remember that guy's channel? We should shout him out. If you haven't seen that video, if this guy, and I think he's UK based, finding, I think 8 or 10 different versions of the same type of cringe hipster video that we just saw. They've done it for the UK, they did it for Germany, they did it for France, they did it for the Netherlands, all with the same type of hipsters following the same script, essentially saying the same things. They all walk into that castle thing. It's cringe. It's really, really cringe. So, Gray, I watched your Lord of the Rings take, and I'm going to let you talk about your perspectives and if I've alienated you making fun of this in any way.
Oh, no. First off, can I just put my hand up and apologize for being from the UK? I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry for my country, for like what that was. What the hell is even that? You know, what was that, man? Jesus, mamma mia. Like, I don't know what to say. Yeah, it was embarrassing, wasn't it? It was embarrassing. It was just basically doing this. Me. That was it.
Yeah.
That's all they were saying.
Yeah, that was like a narcissist. That was like a narcissist greatest hits album. That was like everything you want to hear from someone who lacks self-awareness, has no experience in life, and probably has more pronouns than jobs they've actually held for more than 3 days. I don't know what to do with that. And I've got more clips that we can talk about, but Gray, you don't have to apologize at all for the UK at all. I think there are people who owe us an apology, but if it's one thing we all know, narcissists are unable to see other people as anything else other than objects.
I think he owes Ali G an apology for his bad impression.
Okay, fair.
Ali G.
Fair.
Oh God, Salty, but they're super fans, mate. What are you saying? They are the super fans. You know, they know all the details.
Yeah.
Right?
No.
Yeah.
No. Sorry, I'm not supposed to swear. Sorry.
No, you can swear now. We have reached the witching hour. We have reached the witching hour where we can now say words like shit. So that was total bullshit. I'm just going to say that. And let me real quick shout out my wolf sister. Kaylin Air is here. Hail to you, my wolf sister. Great to see you. Thank you for being here. I'm sorry if my wolf brothers, I've missed you earlier. There was a lot going on, and I hope you can forgive me. Obviously, with having Doomcock come in, we were trying to clean up the house and vacuum before he showed up. So let me get to the super chat real quick. Okay, great. Okay, this is again from Lyle Hammock. Oh, dude, you got to save some of that money for Pampers, man. It's a $10 super chat. Says many of the animators on the Bakshi Hobbit and the Last Unicorn worked for Top Craft, and many of those same ones went and became part of Studio Ghibli, the legendary Japanese studio. Now, did I butcher that, Gray? Can you say that in a much more authentic sounding way, that studio?
I used to say that as well before I got to Japan, but they pronounce it Ghibli. I don't know why.
Ah, hail to you, Lyle Hammock. I'm going to reach into the bag of tricks and get you yet another magical thing. Here you go.
Lyle.
You travel light. That is handsome walk.
God, I love him. I love him so
I know,
much.
I do.
And not in a gay way. Well, maybe.
And this is why Zach keeps me honest. I need to shout out my other wolf sister, Purple Valkyrie. I can't believe it. She joined my channel. She's a member. I feel very grateful, and I'm actually blushing on the other side of the mic. Thank you guys. I've said it before. I'm nothing but a chimp with a mic. The chat and Zach's make this happen. The guests make this happen. Hail to you for my wolf sister, Purple Valkyrie. Hail to Resurrection 117, my wolf brother. I think Brahma Bull is around here. Hail to you, my wolf brother, as well. So the chat is jumping on me. Here we go.
Hold on, just quickly here. Yep. I think it's Thunder Senshi. Am I saying that right? Mm-hmm. Probably not. Had done a super chat earlier, but deleted the text. But the text was $1.99, and it was saying that it was Speedy that was shooting up on the cover of the Green Arrow comic. So I want to make sure I got that out.
No, thank you for that. No, the chat is amazing, and I'm trying to bounce around here. So I think the next chat we have is let me get through here. Okay, so this one comes from Ruvel Arvida, and this is $5 Australian. So let me get you something real quick over here. Let's do this one.
And you have my bow.
And my axe.
Hail to you again, Ruvel Arvida, $5 Australian. Says Disparu has a video. That's the one. Disparu has a video breaking down all 4 versions of Amazon's Roundtable: the UK, Germany, Dutch, Italian, and French version. And it's crazy. I will put those images from that video because I did some screen caps before I ran out of time.
The link is in the chat too for Disparu.
Yeah. Please, you guys, after the show, go check that out. What's really wild is to see that they all went to makeup, they all went to costuming, they all were being prompted off stage. And only in the case of the French Lord of the Rings of Power trailer, it was just one guy sitting on the stage by himself.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
So it's just weird. I mean, like, I don't want to. I'm not going to say the French are weird, but sometimes the French are weird.
Salty, was there a guy taking a piss to the right of him by any chance? Or not?
You know, I saw that, and all I could think of is
that was hilarious.
No, you know what it was? That gate looked like time travel, and that guy looked like he was dressed like a Don Johnson wannabe. Did you see that? Like tan linen sport coat with the black pants. It's like, dude, what the hell is wrong with you? This is not 1987. What are you wearing? I don't know. I mean, like, I'm sorry. I mean, not that I dress for success. I mean, I'm wearing pants that are covered in dog park mud, but I'm not on an Amazon promo. So
was it real?
Anyway,
was it real, do you reckon?
I'm pretty damn sure that's real. I mean, could you imagine? You're the dude taking a leak, and it's like they've got that crazy thing like it's a Stargate, and it's like there's a dude taking a piss over there. Like, how do you miss that? Like, even I don't make mistakes that big in my video. MVP, Gray, you guys tell me what you think about that crazy stuff. What did you think about this insanity?
About Disparu's video, or just about the superfan
all
video,
of it, the superfan thing, what we've learned from Disparu, where you're at. We could say within the last 12 hours, I was going to say the last 48 hours, where are you at with this? And what is your sense of what even normies are feeling? Let's go with that angle.
Ooh, that's a good question, a good angle. So I haven't watched Disparu's video, so I'm actually very, very, very intrigued to see, because it's almost like that news clip that was going around a while ago, whereas like each news room that was saying the same exact script, and you were just realizing how much media has control over our televisions, how much they can control what we see, what we hear, what we do. So yeah, it sounds like Disparu has done something very similar, but with this Lord of the Rings thing. As far as the trailer itself, I think it's upsetting because, or not the trailer, the super fans cut. I think what's so upsetting about it is that even if we're sitting here criticizing it, rightfully so, it is super hard to watch. It's so staged, it's so scripted, it's so forcefully trying to be something it's not. It's not genuine. It's not authentic. But we're sitting here and we're saying we don't like it, we don't appreciate it, we don't see where they're coming from, all this stuff. And the sad thing about it, and the thing that upsets me, is that people will sit here and they'll watch us and they'll go, it's only because you are an ist,
Right.
a phobe, an ism, whatever it
Right.
is.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as
Bring it
actual right, yeah. And as actual nerds, we just don't talk like that. And I'm sure, maybe these people are fans of Lord of the Rings. That's fine. I
They're
won't take
not.
that away from them. Yeah, they're not.
I will.
But-
I will.
Yeah,
I will.
yeah, okay.
I'll
Someone-
be the dick. I'm okay with that. Like
Someone
seriously,
had to say it,
Harry
Yeah.
Potter, maybe. Harry Potter, that's about it.
Right.
No disrespect
with-
to Harry Potter, by the way.
Without J.K. Rowling, just Harry
Yeah,
Potter.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because
In-
J.K. Rowling is
infantile. Yeah. It's infantile. I'm just riffing off you guys. Keep going, Max. And Gray, jump in too. You guys and Zach, jump in on that one, because there's a lot to talk about with this. And the angle, and you guys know this from my show, I don't just want to sit here and call everything stupid and la la la. We want to talk about why we think it's in the chat to tell us their perspectives too. And I've really loved
I want to
what a
read this
lot of
out.
YouTube. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, because he's got he's saying exactly what I'm thinking. Is that from Thunder Senchi? It's they should make this a drinking game, but yeah, you need a spare liver for that for the super fans.
Ooh, boy. I think I
Just
would just drink
cringe.
the whole bottle. It's beyond cringe. It's, I was gonna do a video just picking apart the obvious tells when you could tell the producer was saying cut. Because you remember that girl, that woman, or whatever her pronouns are, that was talking about her disability and her being queer. And you could tell the minute she said queer, her head whipped around. And it was like, somebody offset said cut, because there's nothing like that in the German, the French, the Italian, the Dutch one. It's certainly not in the ones from India. There's 6 different versions of that trailer in India because of the dialects. But that's, I think, the reason why the UK, the American English, the UK one got pulled was because they showed too much of their hands too fast. And they've been slow rolling this thing out. It's like you don't want to tell your better half, your girlfriend, that you just blew all of her life savings in Vegas on hookers and slot machine. You're gonna find a way to avoid it until you absolutely have to. And this marketing approach seems like avoidance coupled with absolute narcissism. Now, what do you guys think about that?
Can I just say, I haven't seen the original. I've only seen people's reactions to it, the video, yeah. And when I first saw it, I thought it was a piss take. I thought it was a joke. Like, no, that's not real. Someone's made that. That's really funny. Like how bad it is. It's so cringy. What did you guys think? I didn't think it was real.
Well, Gray, real quick, I'm going to send you the link to the full video so you can watch.
No, please.
So you can really cringe like the rest of us.
Thank you, Max. I appreciate it. Kind of.
Later, Lyle. Have a good night, brother, and welcome, Courtney. She's Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs new member. WOLFSISTER.
Courtney, thank you so much. And this is for both you, Courtney, and you, Lyle. Hail to you. This is for you both.
Now for wrath, now for ruin, and the red dawn.
I know. I want a big tower with a big horn like that. And then I want Peter Dinklage to come over and blow that whenever I am upset. I'm just going to say that. I'll make it worth his while. And he can call himself whatever he wants. So, yeah. Hail to you, Courtney. Thank you for being my wolf sister, along with Purple, Valkyrie, and the lovely Kaylee. This is so wonderful. We have a fellowship here. We have cool people that come together, and we don't always agree on our fandoms. We don't. I just, with this Lord of the Rings thing, Gray, you started to apologize on behalf of the UK. And I said, there may be a lot of reasons to do that, but what Amazon is doing, and I mean that facetiously, obviously. One of the things that Amazon is doing is actually, I think what we're seeing is globalism in action and entertainment. And I don't mean that from a political standpoint. I mean that from a creative standpoint. This seems like committee after committee after committee ran it through algorithm after algorithm after algorithm. So we got to the point where we got something that, much like the Wheel of Time, has the character names, and in this case, they're just making stuff up because they need to tick those ESG representation boxes. It's just, I don't know. It's crazy to me. And I ran across something, and you guys are going to laugh. I actually remember borrowing this from the library when they had VHS tapes. So I took this thing home. And I remember it was one weekend I took out, I don't know what else. It was like Top Gun and something else. But this was a video that goes back to 1992. And it actually, I've got the titles in here and everything else. But this thing will run a couple seconds. But this is an actual Tolkien scholar. Now, what you may find troubling is that this Tolkien scholar has a normal haircut. It doesn't use pronouns, isn't advocating for the overthrow of capitalism, and isn't calling the rest of us names. What they're doing is demonstrating their subject matter expertise of Tolkien.
I think he's profoundly English and very deeply rooted in a particular time in his countries and in Western European history, a sort of between the wars period, which I think his work very much reflects, although it is not an allegory of it. But any great work is going to exceed its national boundaries without betraying its own cultural heritage. And I think The Lord of the Rings does become international, partly by virtue of the fact that it is so very English.
So that was, how long ago was that? That was 30 years ago. That was a respected Tolkien scholar who actually had a PhD that they didn't get out of a box of Fruit Loops. And
that sounds like merit, though. You're talking about merit now, Corey, so be careful.
Yeah, well, we all know where I stand on merit in the patriarchy and capitalism and everything else like that. I just remember watching that VHS, and it wasn't a laugh a minute. This was a deep, dense, scholarly thing. And on that VHS, you saw somebody who was young and was a brand new scholar by the name of Tom Shippey, who was the youngest guy on that show, talking about Tolkien very lucidly and in a way that, to use the woke word, very accessible way to those of us who did not devote our lives to higher academia and the analysis of Tolkien as literature. But have you guys seen that before? Do you know where that's from? Or am I kind of dropping some weird 90s blockbuster video thing on you? You don't really want to talk about?
Haven't seen it, Max. How about you?
I've not seen that before, brother, but I like what you had to say, and that was a great find, man.
Oh yeah,
cool. I think that was some good deep dive in research.
Yeah, let me quick get to this super chat from our buddy Floral from Under a Rock. He is slinging T-shirts for Wilton the Troll that say "Don't join gangs." I was one of the first people to buy his T-shirts because I was just trying to be a nice guy. Well, as it turns out, they're really darn good quality. and I really like him. So support Floral Under the Rock. If you're not going to buy his merch, go watch his videos. He's a cool guy. He shows up on here with Wilton sometimes. I go on his shows, and it's usually uncomfortable and not very much fun, but we do it anyway. So support Floral from Under a Rock. Let me give you a video, buddy. This one, what are we going to do here? Oh, boy, we've cycled through them. Here you go.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Hail to you, Floral from Under a Rock. This is $2 Canadian. Honk, honk, Justin. I'd give you more, but you guys are istiphobes. Fair.
Yeah.
I guess that's what we are these days.
It's a valid observation. Yeah.
Is that a compliment?
Got it. Yeah, I mean, at this point, I would take it. And again, I want to shout out Courtney's Fellowship of Oddballs is a new member to the channel. Hail to you, my wolf sister. So glad you're here. Let me bounce through this. Yeah, this is great. It's I actually have a couple other things that I put together for Tolkien, but let me start with you, Gray. Is when you first heard about the Tolkien show coming out, what was your feeling? And this is way back in 2018, 2019. How did you think this was going to go? Did you think it was going to look like this?
No, like the naive fool that I am, Salty, I was excited. I was optimistic. You know, I was buzzing about it because I'd enjoyed the first season of American Gods, which Amazon did. I don't know if they made it, but they had it on Amazon. I enjoyed Good Omens with, the Terry Pratchett series. So I thought, yeah, they can make decent stuff. I enjoyed the first season of The Boys. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be great. They're going to make a TV series of Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. I mean, and there were some pretty good shows that Amazon was doing at that time. Do you guys remember that?
Remember those American Gods? It was good.
Yeah,
the first season.
First season was great, mate, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And then something happened at the end of second season, which kind of killed the show for me.
Yeah.
I don't. Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't spoil, but yeah.
No,
if you watch it, you know what I'm talking about. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, I've talked about it before. American Gods is a book that I have loved for so long, and I read it a couple times a year, and I still have my big trade paperback one that's beaten to hell with, I think, the second or original cover. I love Shadow. I love the story in that. I love Mr. Wednesday. I love all of those characters. They are like members of my family. And I've said it before in live streams, but when you read a book, it is probably one of the most intimate relationships you're going to have, a sane person would have with an inanimate object. You become emotionally involved. You become emotionally involved. You fall in love. You hate. You are moved. You walk around with what this inanimate object has put inside you. And much like that Tolkien scholar that we saw, who was espousing the views that part of the reason that Tolkien and the Middle-earth books and characters work are because they are so quintessentially English. And I think that is something that we are going to see a lot of people fighting against. And as we saw in that Amazon diversity quota, superfan video that we saw, they're going to play this backhanded thing against us where if you don't like it, you are an ist or a phobe. And does that argument have any fucking meaning anymore? I'm just going to say it like that. I mean, everybody jump on this. Max, Zach, Gray. Does that mean anything anymore?
It's tough to say, man. So I'll kind of give an example from my own personal experience with those words. I was on a live stream a week or two ago with a guy named Reggie from Reggie Collects Comics. He's got a great channel, about almost 20,000 subscribers. He does a ton of stuff for the comic book collecting community. He's a reader, a collector. He's got a family, and he's a black man who had me on the show to talk specifically about woke, ideology in comic books and diversity and what that looks like. And that's a me as a super white guy, like Christian, veteran, white,
Yeah.
straight, white guy,
Mhm.
and this black gentleman and I having a totally calm, very not rehearsed, very genuine, authentic conversation. And he just asked me, questions about why I thought some of these ideologies were ruining some of the characters and some of the storylines. If you guys go back on that video and read some of the comments, you will see comment after comment after comment saying, why would you have this closeted homophobe on your channel? I'm no longer following your channel. I've unsubscribed. That you would have someone on here that would talk so poorly about minorities. And I'm sitting here going, dude, did you hear the
Whoa.
conversation that we just had? And there were
Whoa.
numerous comments like that. So
No,
though
they
we
can't.
as a
They can't hear.
Are you
That's
kidding
unbelievable.
me?
That's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
So and you guys can watch the video for yourselves. It was about 45 minutes long. But so we as a collective have been called many things,
Oh, yeah.
ism and phobes. But to actually have comments directed towards me on someone else's larger channel
I can't believe
was very, very interesting.
That's fucked up.
It was fucked up.
It
It
is.
really was. It was
Yeah.
it was so odd. And I texted Reggie afterwards and I said, hey man, did you expect this to go down? And he goes, yep, I knew exactly what I was getting into. Don't worry
Oh my
about it.
God.
He was
No
like,
way.
I wanted you on this show because we needed to talk about this. It's a divisive issue. Now there were some comments on there that were saying, hey, I really liked that you guys were playing it right down the middle of the road and it was very calm, it was very collective, you both had great points, blah blah blah. And then there were others, like I said, that I think the pinned comment is this guy who's like, I've unsubbed because you have this closeted homophobe. At least that's the one that I remember so fondly, because I was like, dude, like some of my friends in the Marine Corps, some of my good
Oh, yeah.
friends were in the Marine Corps, were gay, and they can't talk about it unless they talk about it with me, because that's not it's not something you display in the Marine Corps. And so yeah, a lot of my friends, and I had nothing wrong with them. They're good. They're still good friends of mine. So it was very upsetting to actually be called that personally, as opposed to a collective. So it's I still think it's a big issue because it will be said over and over and over again. Now, to get back to your question though, Salty, does it have weight? I have yet to see it have so much weight to where now it's really influencing people. Before with Gina, it was taking
Yeah.
careers out. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Like we're
Yeah.
talking those words, we're getting rid of careers.
Oh, yeah.
Now it just sounds like a broken record. And so I don't know if it will take out careers anymore, but it will sure take out influential people and their sway in any conversation, I guess, if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, it does. And Gray, I want you to answer it, but you just brought up Gina Carano, and we saw someone else recently that was part of the Marvel Cinematic Universe speak up, Evangeline Lilly.
Yeah.
And I got to tell you, I don't really understand when the switch was thrown where
Yeah.
talking about things that in the 80s, that was 99.999% of the world wanted to live that way. And I'm not sure what happened. And this is obviously not the show for that, but I'm just going to say that I'm just going to say honk honk and kiss my ass, Justin. So, Gray, go ahead. Go ahead, Gray. You respond to that. And I actually need to be away for 30 seconds to let my dog out. I will be back.
Okay, man. Cheers, Salty. Cheers, Max. Nice. Wow, that was hard to hear. Like when it's happening real time, no matter what we say, okay, it just goes over my head. Still fucking hurts, man, doesn't it? When someone's having a go at you directly who doesn't know you, they're giving a personal attack. Now, I don't worry about it anymore. When it first happened to me, when I had the one video that just by fortune took off, I got
Matrix
quite a few.
one, right?
a few salty comments on that, but nothing like that. I was never called a racist. I was just called like, an idiot. Oh, you just don't understand it. So yeah, okay, whatever. I did get one little bit of a salty comment on my sarcastic review of a trailer reaction to the Rings of Power. What's it called? Lollipop. And it was a beautiful insult. Somebody called me adult. It's DOLT. It's a really old-fashioned word. I think it's maybe a British guy, an old British guy. Oh, you sir, you are adult. Don't you understand? That's Galadriel climbing the ice wall. Because I'd said it was Joan of Arc. I was just being stupid. I was just messing about. Like what's Joan of Arc doing in this? So yeah. But Max, when it hits you directly, and fair play to Reggie. I know that channel. Fair play to him for having you on and being fully aware of what was going to happen and what kind of idiots he was going to attract. But you got some positive comments too, though. Yeah, that's important.
It was we did get some positive comments for sure. And to answer or to kind of go off what you're saying, Gray, it definitely, those first, you get comments that are always going to be like kind of generalizing, this video sucks, or you don't know anything, or blah, blah. But then you get ones that are like, the guys that are on there who have nothing better to do, who think that they get a lot of their security from hurting others, and they will specifically tear you down. They will find an insecurity, or they will find something about you or your channel that they dislike, and they will find it and rip it apart. And those are the people who have intentionally gone out of their way to do that, and that's difficult,
malicious,
and Gray, right? Yeah, oh, absolutely, a great word for it. Thank you. Malicious is definitely. And Gray, I don't know if you saw that with the Matrix video. It got so much traction. I would assume you'd have at least some haters that were going to comment on it or whatnot. But I think you're very fair with all of your reviews, and they're all subjective.
Agreed.
You're not saying that this is objective truth. You're just saying, hey, here's my opinion. Here's what I think.
Exactly.
And here's a little humor to it,
Yeah, and you're not rage farming. You're not just throwing out ad hominem attacks and saying F-bombs and all that stuff. If you don't like something, you approach it, you say you don't like it, and you lay out a well-reasoned presentation, with some humor and satire. And again, I think that is the one way that when you go after things that are woke or things that are emotionally and creatively bankrupt and just have that shiny Mylar wrapper, candy wrapper on it, nothing inside, is the way that you go after them is you point out the fact that it's a damn joke, and let me get in. I got to do 3 pieces of business. First of all, Brightest Day, hardest working man on YouTube next to me. It's great to see you, brother. I miss your ginger videos. It was Ginger January. Go back through his channel. There are some very lovely ginger ladies that he put up on a nearly daily basis. So hail to you. Yeah, Zach knows what I'm talking about. So
Brightest Day,
go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say real quick, Brightest Day, we can't do this YouTube fellowship thing. We can't do this without you, brother. You're that puzzle piece.
I agree.
That fits exactly where it needs to be at every single live stream. So hail to Brightest Day.
Right, and you got to stay on this
100%.
channel till he's got to stay on this on YouTube until I win something on that damn wheel giveaway that he has.
I won.
After I win something, I don't care what happens to you. You can get the hell off YouTube.
Blu-ray.
But I want to win something off your channel, Brightest Day. That's all I'm gonna say.
Cowboy Bebop from Brightest Day is awesome. Blu-ray.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, nice, man.
Bebop.
So jealous.
No, don't go anywhere, Brightest Day. We need you. And, you're always welcome to come on this channel whenever you want. I know you have a previous obligation on Tuesdays, but dude, love hanging out with you, love talking with you. So I want to shout something else.
He's gone.
Oh, Paul Wolfley, hail to you, sir. Thank you so much for being part of the chat and part of this fellowship. Hail to you, Paul Wolfley. TRW was somebody that I saw pop up in my comments section when I was a tiny little YouTuber. And when I started doing the Wheel of Time stuff, when I started picking the channel back up because I was so morally outraged at another one of my fandoms being destroyed. And TRW started leaving comments and being supportive. He also did one of the coolest things I've ever seen, and we can't play it on this channel because we will be copyright struck because of the Stax sort of R&B from the 60s that he did. But he took me and one of my more ranty episode reviews of A Wheel of Time, I think it was episode 8, and set it my crazy stuff to this R&B 60s funk song and put scenes from Wheel of Time in it. We will definitely drop that in the comments section of the video. But I just want to say to everybody, like when I say that you guys make this channel, you guys in the chat and the comments and the thumbs up, you guys make this channel. Like it's real. And when people do things like TRW 1974, it means the world to us. You know, we spend a lot of time in dark rooms clicking things on computers, wondering if anybody's going to watch it. And it's wonderful to have people respond emotionally and the thumbs up and the views, and especially coming out and shouting us out in chat and, you know, joining the channel, and then, you know, whatever you guys want to do during the show. It means the world to us. So I just wanted to call out TRW, all of my Wolf brothers and my Wolf sisters. It's wonderful to see you guys. And I look forward to, if it's on still tomorrow, let me know. But I think I'm probably going to be doing some work with Purple Valkyrie tomorrow, and Courtney's Oddballs. We were on that 70s rock fan show yesterday. Wonderful time. I managed to get Gray on because I held the door open and he snuck in. So
you star.
Dude, it's a wonderful group of real people. And
shout out to Courtney, by the way. Courtney, it was great to meet you yesterday on the stream. And that 70s rock fan, how great is his voice, Salty? I love the Scottish accent.
He's wonderful.
He had a sore throat, didn't he, as well? So he was suffering a bit.
Yeah, no, I met him in Austin and we hung out for a couple hours. Just another red shirt was there, a couple other people. It was just kind of cool. You know, it was weird to go from this forum to the real, but it was cool. And that 70s rock fan is a gentleman, and he knows his scotch. I owe somebody, Thunder Sensei 150. I owe you a video clip, and I am going to go ahead because I took a delay and give you this.
Not a lot. Go hit him!
Oh, chills every time.
I know, dude. I know. So that part of the reason I played that was we all kind of have a universal sense of loathing about this Lord of the Rings thing that's coming out. And I do have more clips, but in brief, how are we feeling about this animated big screen Rohirrim, or War of the Rohirrim? What do you guys know about this? Because you guys are my resident comic books experts this evening. What is your take on it?
I just heard about it, brand new yesterday. I can't remember what channel, so it's all news to me, Salty and Max. But it sounds, dare I say it, it sounds fucking awesome. It sounds awesome.
I agree.
Dude, fucking the Rohirrim film, you know, whatever they're gonna call it. I forget if it's a film or a series. Doesn't even matter, because guess who's gonna be in that shit? Helm Hammerhand himself.
Yes.
He's gonna be fucking slaying dudes with his hand, with his bare hands.
Yes.
That's who we need to see. And I am so stoked.
I agree.
So right now it's called War of the Rohirrim.
Yes, thank you.
Okay.
And so from my understanding and from what I've heard, is that this is going to give us a lot of backstory from Theoden, a lot of backstory for Éowyn and her thoughts, because you know, in the film she says something like, the women of this country learned a long time ago to carry a sword.
Yes.
And what we're going to see that potentially play out in the War of the Rohirrim as the Shield Maidens come into play now. You know, not fucking armored Galadriel, but Shield Maidens.
Yes.
So we may see that, and then we may also see, you know, well, the biggest thing being Helm going out, like leaving Helm's Deep by himself, dying, and I don't want to give too much away, but his death comes at the hands of hundreds or thousands as he just clobbers people with his own hands. If this comes to fruition because they have one of the original writers from the Peter Jackson films. They have the artists as well. If they do it like they did with the other films, and if they have the rights to a lot of these, we're going to see this play out beautifully, and it will just be a complete juxtaposition from the Amazon series, and it'll be cool to see both of them kind of play out at the same time. But yeah, that's Helm Hammerhand. Hey, I am all here for it.
I'm a giant, well, to steal a wrestling term, I'm a giant mark for Rohan. Everything Rohan. I mean, I love cavalry charges. Who doesn't love cavalry charges?
Oh,
and
so
one
good.
of my favorite scenes in cinema ever, well, top two probably would be obviously cresting the hill at Helm's Deep to go ride to Theoden, and then in Return of the King, when the Gondor calls for Rohan and Rohan answers, it was just like I get chills. I got chills just now saying that.
Dude, right? Yeah.
Yes. I love that they're going to cover that. I want more of that, and that's the stuff that they could have easily done in a live action show. But you know what? Anime tends to make it work. It was true for The Witcher. The Witcher prequel movie, Nightmare of the Wolf, was great. In anime, if you haven't seen it, you should watch it.
Oh, was that good? Was that good? I wasn't sure if it was good or not.
Yeah.
Okay,
I
cool,
recommend
man.
it.
Nice one.
It's a short watch too, so definitely go for it.
Nice.
So yeah, it's I think better than season 2 of The Witcher, personally. But yeah,
Season 2 sucks.
I would debate. No, I'm sorry. I would debate some of that. And for those of you wondering, yes, my Bluetooth headset desynced from my computer at exactly the middle of a sentence. So thanks for covering for me, Zach. So yeah, no, I'm pretty darn excited about it. I mean, in Max, we talked about it. God, what has it been, 3 or 4 weeks ago now? Like, it's one thing to sit here and point out the obvious and to talk about doom and gloom, but what are we going to do about it? And okay, making a YouTube channel. The other thing is have hope. Have hope where there's a good reason to have hope. Like, I'm not saying have hope that the next Star Wars trilogy by Ryan Johnson's going to be any different, but
wait, that's not a thing, is it? Is it? That's not. Are you?
I'm not starting any rumor. Well, here's the thing: the fact that you actually had to ask that question tells you like what kind of a world that we live in, because you don't know. You just don't know.
That's the frightening part. You could be like I legit took that as potential rumor, because I know that was always what he wanted to do was a Ryan Johnson trilogy.
It's true. He's finished his first trilogy. They're just holding it back on releasing it. He's working on his second trilogy right now as we speak, isn't he, Salty?
Well, okay, sure, Gray. I don't want to go to hell for that. I'll go to hell for something else, man. I'll make it. No, I mean, the last thing I'm going to do is pick on a widow, and that's the way I look at Star Wars fans. I mean, you lost a loved one, and depending on the relationship, I mean, that was like a father, a brother, a sister. Losing Star Wars to a lot of us, and maybe it's a generational thing. It really hurt.
Really hurt.
It really hurt. I mean, I made peace with it. I went through the cycles of grief, and we've talked about that on the show before. I watched the original trilogy all the damn time, and I watched 2 movies of the prequels, one which I can kind of stand, and the third one which I think is pretty good. Pretty good, Revenge of the Sith. I actually think that's a pretty good movie, but we're grading on a prequel curve. You know what I mean? So let me do this, though. I've got something pulled up, and this was to run off of the whole thing around the War of the Rohirrim, Max. And we want to be hopeful because we're looking for some damn escapism. And now we know with absolute bold embossed proof that Amazon is not going to be giving that to us with the Rings of Power. So I think what all of us just want is somebody to kind of do a decent job, like at a level of The Hobbit, second and third movie. The first one, if you just would trim it down, I think is a pretty darn good movie. You just trimmed it down. The second and third, bloated. I would even take that for a War of the Rohirrim at this point, just so it looks like what Alan Lee and John Howe did from an arc perspective. But there's somebody who knows a lot better than I, or no disrespect to anyone in the panel, better about Tolkien and what Tolkien meant than anyone else, and that is his son, Christopher Tolkien. This is part of that VHS video that goes back to 1992.
escape is used, has often been used as a means of attack on the very conception of fantasy, of the secondary world. And he in a sense, he said, of course it is an escape, if you like, because it's a movement out of the primary world, which isn't such a pleasant place, into a secondary world that may not be very much more pleasant, but it's in a way very different. He said that his critics had chosen the wrong word. He said they were perhaps maliciously confounding the escape of the prisoner with the flight of the deserter. And why should what he offered, if it is escape, not be the escape of the prisoner, which in other contexts is regarded as a very noble thing to try to do, to get away. But they are twisting it and suggesting that he shouldn't get away. He should stay very firmly in the primary world.
Well, Restream failed at another point, but I think you guys got the overall on that was the value of escape.
Yeah.
That's quickly. Good night, Courtney, and welcome, Brahma Bull, brother.
Oh, hey.
Yeah.
Hail, Wolfbrother, Brahma Bull. Good night, Courtney. Thank you so much for becoming a channel member. Again, hail to you, my wolf sister.
That clip is very thought-provoking. So you first good find there.
Sorry.
When you first heard that, Corey, what did you gather? Because it sounds like what Christopher is speaking about here is that why shouldn't anyone have the delight, the right to escapism?
Yeah.
What is your take on that, and what do you hear Christopher saying in this clip?
Well, first of all, when I do re-upload this video, if the video was fragmented, I will correct it and put it up in its proper form. So, but the context of that was the academics attacking Tolkien for writing a fantasy novel and not being a serious man doing serious things endlessly. And he bore a lot of criticism from academia, from the elite in that field, because he was writing a silly fantasy book. And Christopher Tolkien was essentially responding to that question, 20 years after J.R.R. Tolkien died, and saying something so amazingly eloquent in the metaphor of the prisoner escaping the primary world, those of us who are shackled to this reality, and that somehow we're weak or foolish for wanting to not be constantly ground down by the way the world is. And, Christopher Tolkien was saying that in the early 90s, and, the West had won the Cold War and things were rocking along pretty good. I remember those days, but I do think there are people that are making entertainment now, Max, that perceive us in our little fantasy stories, in our 20-sided dice, and our problematic Dungeons and Dragons, in our war stars, laser swords, and our Trek things that are problematic.
War stars.
That's what my grandmother used to call it back in the 70s. You want to go see the War Stars movie? And I'll never forget that. It's a true story.
That's so funny. I love it.
I know, dude. It's true though. But and then your Jodie Whittaker, doctor, non-doctor who, doctor, it just the whole thing. That these people, I think, are still taking that position forward from academia, which is where I think they got it, based on my own experience in academia in the 90s, that if you are not having that serious mind and completely being ground down by what's going on around you, and considering your privilege and considering your comfort or whatever the hell it is, that's a problem. And I do think that that's part of the reason why our entertainment has been destroyed. It's not just incompetence or lack of talent. I think they're deliberately destroying things that give us comfort. And if I seem to remember right, there was a director whose name rhymes with Abrams that said that he didn't want to do that. He didn't want people to have that kind of comfort anymore. Now, you guys tell me if I'm crazy. I'm starting to sound like Rush Limbaugh over here. But what do you guys think? Zax, Gray? I'm going to turn that question back around on you guys. Max, what do you think about that?
I think
behave.
Gray
Not
is...
to behave. Yeah. Sorry.
Gray's got something in his tea, Nosferatu. Maybe that might help. I did notice someone in the chat real quick. They said one point that Max had mentioned, Galadriel wearing armor and carrying a sword is not the problem. She is among the Noldor, who returned solely to wage war against Melkor. Leading army in the field is the issue. Yeah. So, brother, and correct me if I'm wrong. Thank you for saying that. So Galadriel, from my understanding, is that she goes back when the kin slaying is happening between the two, races of, or not races, but the two kind of cultures of elves, and they are, during the kinslaying, trying to get the ships to cross over to the other side to follow Melkor, or during that period of time. I think Galadriel does show up. She's not leading an army at that time, so you're right. She's not leading, she's not leading the Noldor into battle during the kinslaying, nor does she lead any armies when she gets over into what then becomes Middle Earth, when she crosses the Hekalexe or something like that, the ice, land.
Yeah.
Which is what I think they're showing in the trailer. Is her,
knows.
throwing her
God only
knife.
knows.
Yeah. So, with that being said, thank you for correcting me. I'm sure at some point Galadriel has worn armor, and maybe carried a weapon of some sort. I don't believe that she has ever partaken in leading an army, or has been brash enough to go headstrong into some battle without having the forethought to think of what the ramifications might be if she were to head first into battle. Because as we see in those appendices in this Silmarillion, she is very much more interested in ruling than she is waging war upon anyone. So I think so. I just wanted to mention that real quick, brother. So thank you for bringing that up in the chat, and correct me if you guys think I'm wrong, or if you heard something that that might have been, super off point or something.
No, dude, I think you were right on, and again, for the millionth time, the Thad that shouldn't be is I would say that he is our resident Tolkien scholar. And I don't say things like that to be funny or to be cute.
No, it's true.
This is a guy who knows his stuff, and in a previous show, he's talked about why he loves these books so much, and how much escape they gave him from difficult situations. And to have that kind of a love and that kind of a kinship to a work of fiction is why I said that reading a book is one of the most intimate experiences you're going to have with an inanimate object, because you are letting something affect your soul. Now, I use my refrigerator all the time, but it doesn't leave a long-lasting emotional legacy to get ice cubes. With a book, it does. And so, I like to use the purple prose and wax melodic every once in a while. But it's true, man. I mean, it's true. So hail to you again, the Thad that shouldn't be. Absolutely well put. And this is an important thing we need to point out. In the past, I have told people to subscribe to Flaccid Phoenix channel.
Oh boy.
Based upon this comment, I'm going to tell you to unsubscribe from Flaccid Phoenix and report him for inappropriate content. No, Flaccid, I don't know where you're coming from with this. I don't know if you got something, you bought something off the street. Maybe you should, get some Narcan. I don't know what you're talking about, dude. That is wrong. That is bad data from you.
Come on, man. It's the holiday special. That tops everything, mate. It's a holiday special. What are you talking about, Flaccid?
Oh,
Gray's onto something. Gray's onto something here. Who doesn't want to see Wookiees talking nonsense for what was that, like 3 hours or something, or an hour and a half?
Yeah, I watched that live as a kid.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, dude, we did not know what the hell was going on back then. I was like 7, 8, and it was just like, why are there Christmas trees with Wookiees? Like, nobody knew what the hell was going on. Yeah. So, but great. Why don't you come back to that in your own way too? What is your sense of Galadriel, We've all heard Gary has done a really great job. Of course, just some guy dropped some scripture. That guy knows everything. That guy, just some guy. I'd love to have him on the show, but he's got better things to do than slum it with a.
We had Doomcock on today, dude.
I know it's true.
So
I know.
let's celebrate that.
You're moving up in the world, brother.
I'm gonna have to wash Doomcock's car for a year. That's the deal. That's how I got him on.
I'm glad you said car.
Yeah. It's just a car.
That could have slipped real easily and said
no.
something.
I gotta go to the I gotta go to the center of the earth and be blindfolded and then scrub his sand speeder or whatever. And anyway, but Gray, was there one character that stood out to you in that Lord of the Rings trailer? And everybody said Galadriel, but is there another one or something that you saw in that trailer where you just went like, this is so not Tolkien, I don't know what they're doing? Was there one thing or one character that you saw?
Just off the top of my head, it was the cutie, starry-eyed little hobbit lady who was like talking in a weird, almost Irish or North Country accent. It was very strange.
Yeah.
I have no idea who she was, and I don't even care. But going back to Galadriel, I don't know if you guys mentioned it. Sorry, I just nipped upstairs to get a few things, but
it's okay. Galadriel
ahead of everybody on the horse. Did you mention that she's in the lead on the horse? She's leading the charge, as you said.
Well, of course she is.
Come on, it's like, it's so obvious. They might as well just, put it in quotation marks, like strong woman lead, that's it.
Did you guys, and I do this every show, but for those of you who know me from my Wheel of Time videos, where have we seen the strong, independent women on the white horse riding across the field ahead of everyone else? Yes, that's right. Wheel of Time, like I have said, Wheel of Time was the testing ground for all of the woke crap that Lord of the Rings was. And it's so crazy to see the same freaking tropes, the same woke intersectional nonsense that they did to Wheel of Time. They're just doing on Lord of the Rings. I mean, I dropped a video a couple days ago where there was a female character from the Wheel of Time who was not an Aes Sedai, that would be the female magicians in this world, who was not the leader of her country, her brother was, suddenly be a full female wizard wearing her brother's armor, running the city with those crazy X-ray notes on Amazon with intersectional screeds, making this character into the bestest, strongest, smartest woman ever, and her brother's a loser. And of course, she's the one who goes out on the battlefield in her family armor. And what are we getting with Galadriel? We're getting the same damn thing. It's like literally the same cut and paste thing. Now, Zach, you saw Wheel of Time. Am I being unfair with that? I mean, did you see that correlation at all?
Yeah, I did see the correlation, and the one thing that I took from that teaser, one of the things was she's wearing armor, but it also looks cheap in plastic. So I don't know if that was important that they do that, but like it was garbage. And compared to the movies where the elven armor was very obviously elven, crafted carefully, there's details on the armor that made it look elven. She looked like that was human armor she was wearing, and it was poor quality at best. It looked like plastic toy armor to me. But anyway, I guess that's not as important as what they're trying to show us, which was not much in that teaser. Really, what did they choose to show us from that? Like, really nothing story-wise. Max, you picked up a lot more out of that than I did, so props to you, brother, because the parkour Galadriel was a bit of a shock for me.
Well, I can only take credit for what I've read, and because I'll say this over and over again. I'm no scholar at all. I'm just a nerd, and nerds like knowing that stuff. They like knowing that information. Look at Amanda Manetheren. You guys had him on the other night, and he brought up an amazing point that I'd never even thought about. And Amanda Manetheren was talking about the armor, just like you were, Zax, and how it's plated. What in the world type of elvish fuckery would ever make armor that is plated or that is layered in such a way that you would be a tank? You can't move in that. It's improbable. It is meant for men who are weak, while elves need to be stealthy. They need to be able to move. They need to be able to. It's fabric. It's light. It's fabric mixed with some sort of lighter armor.
It's not steel plates.
Right, exactly. Thank you.
Tell him,
So with that
Frost. Tell
being-
him, Frost. I mean, tell him,
Yeah,
Max. Come on, man.
So I'm just reiterating what Manamanathran had said the other day, because he really brought it home with that, and I was listening to that going, "Fuck, man, just that is such a great point." So that's why I love listening to everyone, because everyone has another take and some bringing something that is so accurate. But it just it proves that in that new Vanity Fair article that says, well, we don't actually have the rights to any of Peter Jackson's stuff. That's why it doesn't look like Peter Jackson's stuff. And it's just more excuses. It's more pandering. It's more, just no, just say it looks bad because you guys didn't take the time, or because you didn't want to take the time to actually look into what this might be. And so, yeah, it just everything along that line. I wanted to mention that armor thing because it really does look off-putting. Like you said, it looks a little cheap or man-made.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's why I pulled that still from Skyrim to show plate armor and what Galadriel was wearing. And it's like all of the RPGs, the tabletop stuff that I played as a kid, like if elves wore heavy armor, and this is just from a role-playing nerd game perspective, it affected them. It affected their magic. It obviously affected their stealth. It's pretty hard to shoot a longbow wearing plate armor. Just gonna say that, and plate armor is meant for your infantry guys, or let's say you have a very heavy horse to bear the weight of that stuff. But God help you fall off that horse, and as they saw throughout a lot of the conflicts involving knights, that once you fall on your back, it's really damn hard to get up wearing that much weight on plate. Now, I know we're getting into weird mechanics of this, and people could say, "Oh, well, there could be some weird metallurgy thing that the elves like make them and it's just like bullshit. You just did this to make her look like a woman. I mean, like, kiss my ass." So,
but Corey,
ahead,
we're doing this because they didn't show us anything, so we have to pick apart what they did show us. I went back last night and I watched the original teaser for the trilogy for Lord of the Rings Fellowship, where they announced all 3 movies with the dates attached. And
remember.
They showed you parts of the story. You knew who the characters were without them having to tell you.
Yes.
This was a Super Bowl commercial for a minute, which cost millions of dollars, and it showed us nothing.
Yeah.
So we're picking apart armor.
Yeah, that's what I want to be doing. That's what I want to be doing with Lord of the Rings, is talking about the swords. And don't even get me started with the continuity of weapons that we saw in that trailer. Because if I did that, I guess I would start to give it credibility that this is actually Tolkien or it's Lord of the Rings. I don't know what this is. You know what this is? This is what Wheel of Time should have been. And for the $80 million they spent on the first season of Wheel of Time, we got something that looked like sci-fi. They were funding it off of, I don't even like $30,000 an episode. That's what Wheel of Time looked like. So now we're getting the Lord of the Rings, and it's looking, I don't know where all that money went, but it sure as hell didn't go into what we saw.
Wow.
It's I mean, even just the hilt of Galadriel's sword that she's carrying on her back or whatnot, that looks very like almost Ranger Gondorian-esque. It's the classic medieval hilt that's just that it's that like T, it's like very simple. Whereas like an elven blade is very formed. It's made for like slicing through and being very it's like a gliding motion,
Yeah, you saw that. You saw that, and I'm sorry, Purple Valkyrie was on the show last week, and she talked about The Hobbit. And I started pulling up scenes from The Hobbit where Elrond draws that curved blade that is very clearly an elvish blade. If you remember that when they're fighting and trying to rescue Gandalf. And that's what I kept thinking. And it's like, okay, well, did she loot this weapon off of the battlefield? And if so, she's an elf. Why would she be using a human weapon? Sorry, Max, I didn't mean to interrupt you. You totally triggered something.
No, you didn't interrupt at all. That was, I mean, it's a great point, because even if she did, as the explosion is going on behind her, even if she did take that blade, she wouldn't want to use it. Her blade is so much more superior to that of what men were making at that time. So
Yeah.
yeah.
And if you remember when it was in the Fellowship of the Rings, when Legolas, when they're all climbing that pass, and Saruman calls down the snow in an avalanche on them, and Legolas is walking above the snow. He doesn't sink into the snow like the dwarves, like the men. So imagine, I mean, like, again, now we're talking about a fantasy setting. I'm not going to use like astrophysics and, you know, biochemistry on this thing, but if an elf can do that, why would an elf be able to use a human weapon with the same skill that they would an elvish blade? The elvish blades were created for a reason. So light. You remember Bilbo saying that in the movies? There's a reason why. But again, there I go. That's phobic and mystic, isn't it? Great. Max. You guys, tell me what you think about that. Am I geeking out too much over here?
I've got to bow down to you.
Sorry, guys. I want to read the super chat here for. Yeah, it's from Thunder Sensei 150, who I apologize for misgendering earlier. It's true.
Sorry about that.
I got to spend Christmas with Peter Mayhew and family. He was the kindest of men. That was a holiday special.
That's awesome.
Oh my God. Hail to you, Thunder Sensei. And I'm going to give you something really good off the bottom of the deck for you. Here you go.
For Frodo.
Hail to you, Thunder Sensei. What
Love
a
it.
story. You guys respond to that.
Oh, Jesus, that's amazing. Sorry, I've heard that Peter Mayhew was an absolute gem, a gem of a human being. He was so kind. He always had time for the fans. You know, nothing was like too much for him to do. He'd always sign autographs. So that is fantastic. What a story. Hats off.
I'm jealous. That's pretty cool, man. I know, right? Yeah.
Jealous, yeah.
Yeah, it looks like we got another super chat of
we do.
Let's
Thanks,
see.
Max.
Yeah.
I was muted. Sorry about that, guys.
Oh, no worries.
No,
I just want to make sure everyone's because I'll keep talking, and then these guys who are donating awesome amounts of money won't get credited. So I want to let you guys.
Zach's
do your
keeping me
thing.
honest, and when we start going down the road, and I start talking about elvish blades and elvish metallurgy. Before you know it, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and there's like only 3 people in chat. So hail to you again, Thunder Sensei. This one comes from Ruvel Aravida. I am going to pull something cool up for you as well.
You travel light. That is handsome walk.
That is another personal favorite. Oh my God. I watched the 2 Towers yesterday and I just every time never disappoints. Go ahead.
That's a man who exists to be easy on the eyes for us.
Yes. Yes, he does. And Arwen exists to be very easy on the eyes for us as well. IMHO. Just saying that. Hail again to Ruvel Arvida. It's a $10 Australian super chat. Says, if you like the Silmarillion, damn it, I thought I could do it. If you like the Silmarillion, I might have had a little bourbon. If you like the Silmarillion and metal, I highly recommend Blind Guardian's Nightfall in Middle Earth. The album is about is about tales from the first age of Middle Earth, recounting the War of the Jewels. Okay, I'm not a huge like speed metal guy, but I do like old school metal. Have you heard about this thing, Max, Gray, Zax? You guys school me on this.
No, this is news to me. Just one point before you go on. I've got to say, one good thing about the trailer, the Amazon trailer, is it sent me back to the Silmarillion. So I got a new copy of the Silmarillion. I picked up a new copy of Unfinished Tales, and I'm slowly like dipping into them. It's unbelievable how good it is.
Yes.
Maybe I appreciate it more because I'm older now, but I think it's just so good. It's so deep. Just the depth in it. I can't go on. I could just like rave on for ages, but Silmarillion, you've got to read it. You've got to read it,
guys. So there's lots going on here. We have a new Wolfbrother, Dovi and I can't read that.
Hold on, let me bounce through here.
Tovia Seguin.
Tovia Sagain. Yeah, that looks right.
And Lyle Hammock, another super chat, but we'll get to that, I promise. But TRW 1974 says he body doubled for Viggo Mortensen as Aragorn.
No way.
Yeah,
Send me a picture.
Incredible.
Send me a picture on Twitter. I will keep the things confidential. I'm not saying that I don't believe you. I just want to put it up on my wall and say there's a guy by the name of TRW who's in my chat. So he made a video about me with Stax R&B funk music. Subscribe to this channel.
Okay.
That's going to be my big promo. TRW.
Yeah.
Wow.
Did he know you were being his body double? That's the question.
Yeah.
Yeah. Did Arwen know? Oh, wow. No, hail to my new wolf brother. I'm going to assume your gender. If you are my wolf sister, please call it out. This is Doviande Se Tova Sengain. Is that the one that popped up? Oh,
wow.
Yeah, I can't say it.
Oh, it's
okay.
Okay. Send it to me in chat.
Holy shit. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Greg, can you say it again, please?
I don't know if it's right,
Great.
but I would say Dovie Andy. Oh, it's just moved. I've lost it. Dovie Andy Setovia Sagain.
Oh, brilliant.
But I've no
Can
idea.
I record that? I'm going to just
No.
write that out.
No, don't do it.
No disrespect to anybody. Thank you so much, Gray. You're saving my life as usual. I mean, I can say Silmarillion all day long, and then I go to read a super chat, and it's Sam rolled with a lion. You know what I mean? I don't know how the hell that works. But Lyle Hammock, I am going to check this. Actually, oh, should have jumped on me again. This is from Lyle Hammock. Who was the last one from, again? Sorry about that. Zach, you're all over it. That was from Ruvel Arvida. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So hail to you. This is from Lyle Hammock. Lyle, Dad, dude, you're amazing. For $20. Thank you so much. We got demonetized last week, so these super chats really help. So thank you very much. So Lyle says, and I'm going to give you your video, don't worry, I can deal with Gladriel as the political leader. She spent all of the second and third ages opposing the shadow, but always in subtle ways, moving places behind the scenes, subtly, never on the battlefield. She didn't need to be. Hail to you, Lyle Hammock. I am going to drop this one. Which one are we going to do here? Let's do this one.
Now for wrath, now for ruin, and the red dawn.
Every time I play that, I watch Max's face. You guys can't see it, but backstage, I just watch him light up and smile like a 12-year-old, like seeing an R movie for the first time. Every time I play that clip, man. Every time.
I went like this. I leaned in.
I know. He's just like
me too.
Beaming. He's beaming. He's like, show me more. Hail to you, Lyle Hammock. It's very true. I mean, and that's the thing. You guys respond to this. You guys respond. What Lyle said is entirely accurate. That is not subjective. That is what's in the appendices. They took War Gladriel from, what is it? I believe it's in the Silmarillion, but it's also in the appendices. The reason that they're turning Gladriel into the Amazon with that's a human, like, smashing Tolkien's patriarchy is because, if I remember right, there are two sentences they took out of context. And one Tolkien was describing Gladriel as an Olympian or some type of Amazon or something like that,
right,
for something. The second thing was she looked at the dwarven army with the eye of a commander. That does not mean that she led troops. That just means after being around Middle Earth for what would it have been, about 3,000 years at that point, if I remember right, a very mature, powerful female elf. She was a tactician. She looked at strategy. She looked at the big pictures and she pulled the strings. She didn't go out there and stick an ice pick in somebody's back of an orc's head. She was always 3 or 4 steps ahead of the Dark One. But no, in this show, and it's my opinion that Payne and McKay are such talentless damn hacks that all they can do is play identity politics and with mystery box prizes. That's all I can think. So
they think,
hail to you, Lyle Hammock.
Hail, mate. Nice one. Nice point.
Yeah.
Salty, they think if they don't show Galadriel doing what he just said, then we won't realize how powerful she is. It's so superficial, isn't it? Fucking Joe.
It's just like Wheel of Time. It's just like Wheel of Time.
We have a new member.
Oh my God, you guys
Another
are
one
crazy.
Reveal Arvita, and we've got lots of super chats. Plus, you're being trolled by a troll.
I'm working on. Okay. Ooh. Oh, wait a minute. Did that troll hack through my next level of security?
Was it?
Yeah. Whatever you do, Zax. Whatever you do, Zax. Don't let Wilton in. Whatever you do.
And
don't let Wilton in.
Well, it's on your screen here. You're gonna have to read that super chat. That's how it works. Salting. So.
Oh, dude, I got too much going on. I'm trying to catch up with supers. First of all, hail to you, Ruvel Arvida. Hail to you, my wolf brother or sister. It is wonderful to have you on board. I love what we're doing here. It's so much fun. And I owe the world to Zax. As you might have noticed, the show has changed a little bit. And I'm very lucky to have somebody like Zax on board. And Max, Gray, you guys are wonderful. I mean, consider yourself permanently rotated into the show if you have the time and the inclination. So I just think you guys are fantastic. So hail to my new member, Ruvel Arvida. Welcome aboard. We've also got Nerdporial Lifeform is here. That's incredible. It's you guys showing up for me. Thank you so much. We have another $2 super chat from Floral Under a Rock. Do you guys know that channel? I don't know who the hell that is. Anyway, they gave us $2 Canadian. It says Silmarillion. Oof. Dude, thanks for the $2.
Wow.
Yeah. Well done, sir. Well played.
I put my faith in God and Jim Beam. So here we go.
That's all you need. That's all you need.
Yeah, I tell you what, man. The Thad that shouldn't be. Oh, dude, you didn't have to do this. $10. Thank you very much. Says LOL Salty. I am going to send you. Oh, okay. This is cool. You do that. You do this, and I will. You let me know what you're looking for. If you're into vinyl, I'll hook you up with some good vinyl. The Thad that shouldn't be. LOL. See, now Max is talking my language over there. We need to, before you bail, dude, I want to share some vinyl with you that I'm going to recommend to you.
Dude, if it's City in Color, hey.
Yeah.
I'm here.
First aid kit. Yeah. First aid kit in camp. CAAMP. Let me get to this super chat. This is from the Thad that shouldn't be. LOL Salty. I am going to send you a large print pronunciation guide for the Silmarillion. 4th time in a row. Also, Nightfall in Middle Earth is a concept album basically doing the whole, doing the whole Silmarillion in order. All right, Nightfall, dude, we'd have to find this after this show's over. We got to find this. This is going to be great. Hail to you, the Thad that shouldn't be. I am going to get you something good. What can we do here? Let's do this one.
Not a lot.
Go hit him!
Oh, I love that scene so much. After they bust out of the keep, now for wrath, now for ruin, and the red dawn, dude. That's the way to go out. Wow. That's all I'm gonna say. What's your favorite scene, Gray, from the Two Towers? Like, is there a favorite segment that you have in the Two Towers that stands out to you? There are so many good parts of that movie, and I'm going to get to you, Max.
So hard to choose one, but every clip you've been playing has been magical and Salty. The quality of those clips is great. How did you get those? They look beautiful. Is that from the 4K?
No, that's from just. Well, boy, what can I say? I get them off.
Secret. Sorry.
Yes, it's off the 4K. Yes, and I own that. And yes, that's what I do. And I rip everything that I own already, so I have the rights to do that. You are correct, Gray. Yes, that's how I do that. Yes.
A lot of people say Helm's Deep. Yeah, of course, Helm's Deep is amazing. But you were talking about the Riders of Rohirrim. The Riders of Rohirrim. When they're getting together, and you've got Judge Dredd, Carl Urban as the leader. Like, I just love it. Whenever he's on screen, every scene.
He was so great. Yes, he's chewing the scenery. He's chewing every
loving
damn
it, isn't he?
scene.
Great performance, and he was loving it. You could see he's having a great time. And
you
believe his character. That's the difference. You're
you
drawn
could
in.
see it. you can see it in his eyes that he's trying not to smile and go, dude, I'm in the Lord of the Rings and I love the Lord of the Rings. I mean, am I being unfair, Zach?
No, you know what? His acting is excellent, and he doesn't even have to say much. Even with the helmet on, he portrays so much with just a look. The scene
that's it.
Where he's told to muster the Rohirrim by Theoden to go ride to Gondor's aid. He just gives a little head tilt, and then like that's what he wanted to hear. Nothing else to it. We get it, and he's off to war. Love the guy.
You truly believe that he has commanded this army for years. You know, you truly you understand, like he is a commander and a leader who has been doing this for a while, who has the respect of his men. And you can see that just in how he presents himself, how he holds himself in that armor. It is beyond me how, if we're talking perfect casting, Viggo and Éomer are both two. Theoden, I mean, like the whole cast is just. It was a once in a lifetime thing. But yeah, with Éomer in particular, Karl Urban, great casting. And in the third film, he takes down an entire Mumakil by himself.
Oh yeah,
a lot of people don't remember that. Takes down one of those elephants.
All of the casting for all of the main characters in Rohan was amazing. I think Éowyn, I think all of them, even Wormtongue. Could you imagine anybody else being Wormtongue, dude?
Brad Dourif is amazing. Yeah, Brad Dourif is amazing as Wormtongue, mate. Great point.
Do you guys remember him in the X-Files when he was like a serial or not a serial, maybe he was a serial killer or something, but I remember watching him and he's like locked up in this cell and he's talking about these aliens that he's been seeing and he's like this murderous, and the same actor and he plays it perfectly and you can totally see why they chose him for Grima.
Reminds me of a scene in Exorcist 3, which is not as well known as the main Exorcist, but Brad Dourif's in that. He has an amazing performance in that, guys. If you've not seen it, The Exorcist Part 3, really, really good.
We're going to have to compare notes, and at some point, we need to do a watch party. I think us guys hanging out, I think that would be a lot of damn fun, and bring the chat in and watching some of these movies that we get stoked about. I would love to watch I would love to do a watch party with you guys in the Lord of the Rings extended. I think that'd be fun as hell.
Okay, Corey, before we get too sidetracked here.
Yes,
Wakizashi
I know. I'm going to get to
is a member now, so thank you for joining, Wakizashi.
Who is that?
Oh, of course, mate. Yeah, of course.
Oh, hail to you, good sir. Great.
Hail.
Thank you very much.
We have another $50 super chat from Lyle Hammock.
I know. That's what I was just about to get to. So, Lyle, I am humbled. Thank you. I don't know what to say. Your friendship, your comments, your support of this channel. I know Zach's. Just congratulations and thanks for being here every week. It means the world to us. This one is for you, literally.
And you have my bow.
And my axe.
One of the limitations of Restream is that you can only preload so many clips, and you can only preload 10 clips. And Indy used 2 clips for the show opener and the show outro. So that's why I can't rotate through more clips, but I have written Restream and I'm hoping that maybe they listen to their paying customers and allow us to have more latitude in loading more cool clips like that. Hail to you, Lyle Hammock, big daddy of that bouncing baby girl, says, guess who we haven't seen? Guess who we haven't seen anything about in Rings of Power? Celeborn. Of course, we can't show her husband, who was a warrior and actually fought in the War of Elves in Sauron, or her daughter, Celebrand, mother of Arwen. Guess being a wife and mother, and then it's
is toxic to them.
Is toxic to them. There's a lot of women that I know that some of the toughest women that I know that are of my generation were mothers, and they served. Some of them were army and they were moms and they were away from their kids. Some of them were single mothers who lost their husbands early. But the one thing you don't ever do is get between a mama bear and a cub. And I think we've seen that a lot with school boards recently. But what do you guys think about that? You guys who have more deep knowledge on Celebrand, go ahead.
I don't have that knowledge. I'll defer on that for sure. But I think he's bang on. He's bang on the point of they're not showing us the characters that they could portray what they want us to see. Instead, they're going to show us they're going to show someone else doing that.
Yeah, it's more social engineering. Sorry, go ahead, Max.
Yeah. No, I was just, I mean, and I believe, as a mother, we can't call them that, right? It's childbearing person. Is that correct?
It's a birthing person.
Yes,
person.
sorry, a birthing person.
Fuck.
Which, let me tell you, is so demeaning to women. That is the most demeaning thing you could take from them, or like it is taking away so much of their strength in that dumb term. And this is exactly what this show is doing. It is taking away this. It's by thinking that they're adding strength to Galadriel, it's actually making her less worthy. It's making her. It's saying that she is only good for her physical capabilities, and that is not true because men are brash. They are aggressive. They are physical, and they're cavemen. They hit big things over the head. They lift heavy weights. We're not as intelligent. We're not as compassionate. We're not as kind or giving. Those are strengths in themselves. And for some reason, people do not like to see women portrayed with those beautiful strengths that they have because they think that it's somehow inferior, which is absolutely incorrect.
I agree. And the masculine is very good at being very single-minded and focused.
They have a mission and they are going to accomplish it. Yep.
Exactly. And women can do that too, but they also have, God, what can I say without losing my channel? I think part of what's wired into women is a complementary strength that is different. It's not lesser, it's just different. And I think that's one of the weirdest things to watch. And I've said it in so many of these live streams that having seen all this bullshit like 30 years ago when it was in its proto state where in order to make strong women, you had to turn them into petulant 14-year-old adolescent boys. I simply do not understand, because if you look at some of the most strongest, feminine, powerful, don't F with me women, I would put Galadriel in a literary figure at the top of that list, and I think, Zax, you said it last week where you're like, Galadriel's not in a hurry because Galadriel doesn't need to hurry because Galadriel's a badass and she's in charge. She knows what's going on. She's powerful. And I'll let you finish that. But if Galadriel's running, go ahead, Zax.
I just don't think that she's ever in a situation where she should be in a hurry. There's no rush for her. Things come to her. She's ready for everything. She's always ultimately prepared. She's, ultimately powerful as well. She fears nothing. And so just the fact that they showed her in the scenes in the teaser, always in a hurry and taking ridiculous chances she shouldn't have to take.
100%. But here's the thing. Galadriel is Galadriel. Hey, Paulie, what's up?
Hey, Paulie. Nice one.
Paulie the Latino Slant was also on that 70s rock fan show yesterday. Good guys. Give a sub to Paulie. He is doing some great analysis from some really cool perspectives. We don't always agree on things, but that's part of what fandom is. And Paulie, the check is in the mail for my membership to your channel. So, nice. I honestly, it's meant with love. It's meant with love. It's Galadriel had a husband that she loved in the way that I guess you can love someone that you've been married to for 2,000 years. But Galadriel's strength was not derived from demeaning the masculine in her life.
Dude, look at
you go ahead.
Oh yeah, sorry. No, I was just going to say.
Roll over me. I'm an idiot. Go ahead.
No, you're good. I was just piggybacking off of that comment that you just said. She gives one single look to Boromir, and he literally not in a demeaning not in a demeaning way, but in a way that he feels seen like no other man has been seen before. She gives him one look, and just as he is, as an insecure man, and he almost trembles and cowers in fear of she sees me for who I am. And he's always been portrayed as the hero, the leader, the best of the hero of Gondor. And she sees him for his faults and his insecurities, which women are very good at doing. They can see those faults in men, but they can also strengthen men because they know some of their weaknesses. And instead
100%.
of Boromir, like accepting that, he cowards in fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Like I said, it's one look because she is that strong. She doesn't need to punch him in the face and be like, "Take that, bro." Like, that's not who she is. She literally
stuff a sock down the front of her. Yeah, never mind.
How intimidating is she in the original trilogy? As you said, Max, perfectly put. That was great. She can do it with a look. She doesn't need anything, but she's so strong, she's so powerful just the way she is. She doesn't need anything, any like accoutrements, any armor, weapons. With a look and with her presence and her posture, you just know, like, oh my God, don't mess about with her,
100%. And let me get to these super chats. This is from, the Nerdporeal Lifeform for $2. Hail to you, brother. Thanks for showing up here. I'm going to give you something. Way back.
May the wings of liberty never lose a feather.
Amen.
I love that movie. I remember we had one of those laser disc players. For those of you over a certain age, it's not a DVD. They are not a DVD player. Imagine something the size of a record, a vinyl. Only that was a DVD back in the early '80s. That was laser disc. That's when I watched. Go ahead.
Super chat here, Corey. Yeah, I didn't know about this at all. Blind Guardian have a song called "Wheel of Time" based on Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time series, focusing on Rand al'Thor.
Wow,
that's from let me get to Raviel Arvida. Yeah.
Let me get to my wolf brother or sister. The Nerdporeal Lifeform for $2 to fans of Lord of the Rings fleeing as Amazon. Fly, you fools!
Fly, you fly! Brilliant.
Hail to you, Nerdporeal Lifeform. Zax! Wait a minute, is the same Zax? Dude, what are you giving me Australian money for, Zax? Oh, Zax! Oh, my God.
I read the comment. I read the super chat up there.
Cheers. All right, you got it. Okay, I'm keeping up with that. So a hail to you, and this is from Ravel Arvidia. Let me give you something little bit. What do we got left? Let's do this one.
Target that explosion and fire.
Fire!
I really wish they would have done a Star Trek series based around the time frame in the ship class of the Excelsior. I think they could have, with a good captain, I think that would have been really fun.
I have never heard of Blind Guardian, so I can't respond to that. But Corey, Gray, you guys are more music guys than me. Have you heard of that?
Blind Guardian have a song called Wheel of Time based on Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time series focusing on Rand al'Thor. I am going to go look this up after the show, so don't perceive us as brushing this aside. I am going to check this out, and if it's any good, and I'm not doubting you, if it's something that appeals to me, I'm definitely going to post it out on Twitter because you guys, there's a bunch of stuff with Wheel of Time that's been shaken loose, and I'll just say this without derailing the conversation too much more. Do you know what the marketing approach of Amazon is using for the second Wheel of Time? And I shared this with Zax. They're getting people excited about season 2 by saying, who was the first person that Perrin hugged when they got to the Waygate? They're literally taking a character without any development who was supposed to be the hyper alpha wolf male and asking, who did he give lovey-dovey hugs to? Like on the PW show. So if that doesn't, well, that's true. That's true. It's madness, and we will get into that probably. I'll make a video this week on sticking the status of Wheel of Time. Now, Max, I know you weren't into Wheel of Time. Gray, were you into Wheel of Time at all? Did you watch Amazon?
I've got a confession to make. I think we talked about it before, didn't we? A little bit. I've never read it until after watching the show. The good thing about the show, Salty, is it sent me back to the book. I didn't finish the book the first time I tried it, and then I tried it again. I listened to it on audio. I was like, okay, this is pretty good, the first one. It's not great, but it's pretty good. And then I got the second one. I got The Great Hunt, and that drew me in. That was the one. So I'm a fan now. So thanks to the show, even though the show sucked, the show put me, took me to the source, which is the same thing with the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
It sent me back to the source. So
yeah, Robert Jordan was a huge fan of Tolkien, and
he
much
wasn't
like
he? Yeah.
much like Terry Pratchett credited Tolkien for writing his Discworld series, Robert Jordan credited Tolkien for him creating the Wheel of Time series. Eye of the World is a pretty good book, but it is very tentative. You can tell, if you're a fantasy reader, that Robert Jordan wasn't necessarily, he was maybe being a little too careful.
He was trying to find his own voice, wasn't he?
Yeah,
He was trying to find, which he finds.
The second, third, fourth, and fifth books, he knows who he is. I'm Robert Jordan, and I'm writing this damn series, and these are my damn characters. And it's a wonderful thing to see because he stops worrying about trying to be someone else, and he's just Robert Jordan.
Yeah.
And hail again to Blind Guardian. We're going to look that up. Go ahead.
So hold on. I'm going to skip a couple super chats here. We'll get back to them, but we had that answered for us now by Thad.
German.
The Thad that shouldn't be. This is for $5. This is Blind Guardian is a German power metal band that sings in English, whose music comes from literature, mythology, and similar concepts. Listen to them live. Well, I owe you something for this. This is for the Thad that shouldn't be. I'd like to be doing this with you, the Thad that shouldn't be.
We travel light. Let's hunt some orc.
Dude,
hell yeah!
I want to hunt some. Let's hunt some orc, man. I'd hunt orc. I would hunt orc with you, Max, Gray, Zax. Hit me on Twitter. Let's go orc hunting tonight. No, hail to you, Thad, for that $5. That's a brilliant reaction. Thanks for pulling that up, Zax.
We got another one here too.
Do it.
All right, we've got from the name I can't pronounce, our new Wolfbrother.
Ooh,
Gray, your cue.
Gray, your cue.
Tovie Andy se Tovias again.
There we go.
Hey,
give me a break.
Cheers.
Yeah, not a cunning linguist. $5. It's the old tongue. I quote from Matt Cawthron from Wheel of Time. It means it's time to toss the dice. Sorry if you knew that already.
No. The old tongue is, I don't have, and this is, like, I think I'm a fan of something. Like, I think I'm a fan of Robert Jordan's works. And then I meet someone like this. Someone whose passion and love for the fandom and the stories of these works, that they know the old tongue and that they remember those phrases of old tongue. And, Matt Cawthon was a character that in Robert Jordan's books, to me, was the archetype of the trickster, but also a great military leader. Wheel of Time on Amazon did everything it could to diminish him. And I spent several videos talking about the active destruction of any positive, strong male archetype. And Amazon was incredibly successful in that. I have absolutely no reason to believe that in the Lord of the Rings of Power, they are going to cease this deliberate, calculated, intersectional identity politics onslaught. Did you guys pick up on anything in that teaser trailer or anything else that leads you to believe that, other than Gladriel in armor, do you think we're going to see that same intersectionalist thing where all male characters are either stupid or evil?
Yeah, look what they did to Elrond. If that's meant to be Elrond, I thought it was Cyril, Cyril the stable boy in the trailer. They just weakened him so much. He looks like, what's the word? A statesman, doesn't he?
I came up with another word that probably would get my channel closed down, but yeah,
do it.
Yeah, we see Balin, or not Balin. I'm blanking on the dwarf's name at this point. I apologize.
From Khazad-dûm. It's okay. There's a lot of names flying around now. Yeah.
Take my Lord of the Rings card. He's the fourth of his kind. Either
Durin. It was
Durin the fourth.
Durin the fourth, I think. Yeah.
Because I know a lot of the dwarves believe, and the Thad that shouldn't be, I know he can correct me, but I think that some of the dwarves believe that Durin would be reincarnated and would continue to, during the first, the second,
Yep.
third, fourth.
Yep.
And so, we see during the fourth, and he's crying. He's weeping in the trailer. Then we see Elrond, and he's got this look, and he's going, looking
he's
up
cowering.
as if he's like so troubled by what he's been going through. Like we have and then Celebrimbor, who may be the one, the elf that we see who's kind of looking up to the skies. No, I don't know. Those are the three that stick with me the most. And I don't know. I like all three of those are just kind of generic, unassuming. They have no power. They have no strength. They have no confidence in any of those three iterations of men, elves, and dwarves. And that's just three examples in a span of 30, maybe 45 seconds, because the Amazon logo at the end takes about 15 seconds. So I can empathize with what you guys are talking about as far as the intersectional feminist and downgrading of the masculine soul. Now, I did want to ask you, Zax, and Corey, how many seasons do you guys know did Wheel of Time sign up for with Amazon? Because with Lord of the Rings, apparently we're getting 5 seasons, no matter if this thing bombs or if it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. We're getting 5 seasons regardless. So, what was it like for Wheel of Time?
Zax, you can jump on that if you want.
Sure.
I do know. I was pretty sure
3.
they were going to get 5. Well, yes,
Three guaranteed 3 now.
with an asterisk. Yeah, they're guaranteed 3. But when this abomination started, they said their target was 5. And that's part of why the $80 million in the first episode, I had people arguing with me and calling me names, which is fine. In some of my early videos when I was making fun of it looking like trash, because it does. It looks dumb. It looks like a sci-fi production from the early 90s. And they said all that money, that $80 million, didn't just go into production. It went into building a studio in Eastern Europe. Well, if you're going to build a studio in Eastern Europe for only 2 or 3 episodes of television, you're a moron. So to me, they're going to do something. They're going to do something. And I'm pretty sure they're going to squeeze 5 seasons out of this. But Zax is right. We have 3. They say 3 confirmed, but it was supposed to be 5 seasons.
Salty, didn't you enjoy the Trollocs? The Trollocs they were amazing, right? The Trollocs, they look so convincing. Am I right?
That whole last episode. Let's not get too deep into that.
Let me get to
go,
some
right?
of these super chats. Yeah,
we got a question. This guy, Flaccid Phoenix, has a question for Max, and Max has got to go. So let's go. Let's go to this one.
Yep. Let me get to this. Bouncing all over the place. Let me get to this. So this is from Flaccid Phoenix. He was on the show a couple of weeks ago as well. This is a $5. He wants to know, MVP. Who's everyone's favorite Lord of the Rings character? MVP, do you have any Lord of the Rings statues? Hail to you, Flaccid Phoenix. While you're thinking of that, Max, let me give him this clip.
Now for wrath, now for ruin, and the red dawn.
Go ahead, Max. I know you got a split. Sorry, I'm behind on the super chats, but he was wondering, do you have any Lord of the Rings statue, and who is your favorite Lord of the Rings character?
No, you guys are totally fine. I'm so excited that you guys have been getting such great super chats tonight. It has been so incredibly awesome to see everyone so amped up about this new series and for this live stream, and just donating that type of money looks so rad. So thank you everyone in the chat, everyone who's watching, for donating, because these guys absolutely deserve it. Like I said, I just exist to be easy on the eyes for y'all, but these are the ones who are doing the true work behind the scenes.
Max is icon.
What about me, Max? What about me?
Gray is the true hero. He's Gray. You're the hero. You're the Sam to everyone's Frodo. Like without Sam, Frodo never makes it to Mount Doom.
Wait a minute, I'm the fat bastard. You saying I'm the fat one? Oh, no.
Without Samwise the Brave,
steadfast.
There you go. Without Samwise the Brave, none of this happens. So thank you, Gray, for bringing us all together. To answer your question, Flaccid, I'm just gonna go very simply and say Aragorn. And Zax or Salty, if you guys could share my screen, I'm sharing a little Google search here.
On it.
Zax, or thank you guys. Flaccid, this will be my next my first Lord of the Rings statue. Most of the Lord of the Rings have always been quarter scale or 6 scale, like
Oh
Hot
my
Toys.
God.
But this is a statue, a quarter scale statue. So this is Aragorn, obviously charging onto Pelennor Fields at Minas Tirith. So this is from Prime One Studios. He comes with 3 different face swaps, where
Oh my
one's angry, one's oh, there we go. That one's a little bit
Oh
more.
my God, it's amazing.
Yeah, so this is the next purchase. I pre-ordered this about a month ago. He should be coming middle of 2022, and you guys will absolutely see him in the studio somewhere. I got to figure out where to put him next. So that's to answer your question, Flaccid. That's the next purchase that I have pre-ordered. So hopefully he gets here soon, because that is not only my favorite character, but is going to be a really cool addition to the room. So
that's amazing. It is
Very cool.
absolutely
Yeah.
amazing.
So I'm looking forward to bringing them and adding them to the collection. So I appreciate you guys sharing that screen too, because
Oh God,
he's
no.
It's artwork. It really is artwork.
Yes, it is. Max, it is always an honor to have you on the show. It's so you are so easy to talk to. You are so easy on the eyes, and in
The
a
more
purely
bourbon you have, Corey, the more dangerous that gets.
dude, there was punctuation there. No, in a purely heterosexual appreciative of a smart guy, dude. No, it's just so much fun to have you on, and I know that the chat loves your insights. It's great, and like I said, when I saw you and Gray working together, it's just you guys are a joy to talk to. You guys are a great team. So I know you have to go. Why don't you shout out your channel, sir? I know we've been putting it out in chat all night, but please shout yourself out and let us know where we can find you next.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thank you so much for having me again. I love watching the show. I love being on the show. Like you said, it's very, very easy to talk to you guys. It's very organic,
you.
authentic, and it's super fun to just come and talk about the stuff that we love. So you guys can find me, at MVP Maxfield von Priestley. The channel mainly surrounds itself with comic books and comic book figures, superheroes, stuff like that. But as a lot of our channels have delved into now, we have dug deep into the mines and have now been pulling out lots of Lord of the Rings content. So that is hopefully what I can be working on next, if you guys are looking forward to that. And yeah, I mean, subscribe to all these guys. You guys can find Gray and I doing a live stream once a month that we talk about kind of anything that we deem to be worthy. And Gray has started this thing. He's got a full-time job, full family, doing this from Japan, knocks it out of the park every time. And I'm just very honored to be on here with yeah. And super humble, which is another great thing. So of course, these two incredible dudes who have the star power now to bring Doomcock on, which is saying a lot. So.
I gotta wash his car for a year. I don't know about star power. Yeah,
Max love in the chat right now.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say thank you to chat. Max should look up an old cartoon called Mighty Max. I've seen that. Yeah, if you wore a T-shirt with a big red M on it, it looked like the character growing up. Hey, that's something. Yeah. Hey, maybe that'll be the new look. Who knows? Thank you. The Thad that shouldn't be, and thank you for your intellect on a lot of these Lord of the Rings topics, brother. I love this stuff, and it's tough to remember everything, but it sounds like you have got it all figured out, which is rad. And thank you, Flaccid. Yeah, I just responded to one of your comments on my last video, so thank you. I've been going through this past few days responding to each one of the comments in my last video, and man, it's been I've been very grateful to have the fan base and positive feedback that I've been getting, which has been really cool. So
you deserve every good comment. You really do.
Thank you.
And you have done some of my favorite shows, Max, and I can't wait to have you back. I know you're a busy guy, and I'm certainly not going to monopolize your time, but I would love to have you and Gray back on the show, and maybe someday have Purple Valkyrie on as well, or come on some channel where just all of us get to hang out. And it's just really fun. And like you said, I mean, this is like we're all having a beer down at the pub and we're just talking about fandom. And it's great. And you don't find that a lot these days. You know, we've all been, what's the right word? Separated, you know, kept apart. And it's just kind of cool to like each one of us have our beer or cocktail and just talk about what we love and fandom and shoot the shit. So thank you so much, MVP. We look forward to your next Lord of the Rings video. I hope you have a good evening. Thank you so much for being on the show, brother.
See you soon,
Thanks,
brother.
Man.
Thanks,
man.
Yeah, great to see you guys. And I also look forward to my next Lord of the Rings video because I'm telling myself, dude, you gotta produce something soon because it's, you know, we're getting the clock is ticking. We got to see some Lord of the Rings stuff. And so, yeah, I'm also asking myself the same question, but I appreciate it, guys. I always, you know, all my love from over here in California on the West Coast. And yeah, I look forward to hanging with you guys next time. So
hell yeah.
See you guys soon.
Thank you so much, Max. Take it easy, brother.
Yeah. Later, Max.
Guys.
Bye. What a good guy. I mean, just
so
what
cool.
a good guy. You know, it's yeah, I rewatched his Lord of the Rings video, and we all have different takes, but we're all talking about the same thing. And I just love his passion, man. I mean, and his authenticity is just great. I mean, it's the same thing I really like about you, Gray, is your takes and your authenticity, and it's just fun to hang out with you guys. So
thank you.
No,
I'm not very clued up like you guys are. I'm being so impressed with your knowledge of the lore. You know, I'm just a guy who likes the books and the movies. So, but Max is such an easy guy to talk with, isn't he? You know, he's so, what do you call it? He just makes you feel so relaxed, so welcoming, and he's very, very clever. His takes are always worth listening to. So, great guy.
He's a very generous guest, much like you are, and much like Purple Valkyrie was last week. And it's great. Just, it's wonderful to work with you guys. It really is. So let me get to this super chat from my wolf brother, Resurrection 117. Hail to you. For $20 says, these people are trying to make women that act like strong men instead of women that are strong women. You can be feminine and powerful. They don't have to take on the aspects of masculinity. I absolutely agree with that, and I am going to give you something. Let's see, what can we pull up that we haven't done in a while? Here we go.
And you have my bow.
And my axe.
Hail to you again, Resurrection 117. It's always great. We have the Wolf brothers and sisters. We have a little Twitter chat thing set around, and we share what video games we're playing.
It's an amazing place to be.
Dude, you're Canadian. You're supposed to underestimate. It is actually amazing. We share great things, and it's a cool little community. It's a cool, huge community. It's actually happy.
Yeah,
it's a great place where we can
that
talk.
size community.
That goes without saying, but he's right about this. And you guys have heard me talk about this in previous episodes, but you don't need to destroy the feminine by taking away what makes it the feminine. I don't know how much simpler to make it. You know, I mean, I saw this 30 years ago where third wave feminism, I was encountering it for the first time, was acting, dressing, sounding, and behaving like an adolescent boy. And I was like, that's not mature femininity. That's a teenage boy. And I think that's what we're getting in a lot of these adaptations. Am I being unfair there, Zax or Gray? I mean, what is your take on this and what Resurrection 117 said?
All right, I'll go. I think he's there. You can be feminine and you can be strong, and that's what Galadriel was. in the original trilogy, and that's what they're taking away from her in this. It appears to be, and that's what they've done with the Aes Sedai as well. And they've made them ugly. Let's be honest.
Yeah, weren't they? They were scary, weren't they? You know, in the first episode, I didn't know anything about the books really, so I went into it kind of cold, and it's like, who are these unlikable characters? These women, like right from the start, you know, these Aes Sedai, they're just being horrible. Is that what they're like in the books? And that's what sent me to the books, you know, to find out.
Yeah, they're supposed to be more like elves. They're supposed to all be beautiful, but no, not so much in this. And yeah, they're definitely taking that away.
Just like really man haters. Those first, especially who was it? I don't know the character's name. The lady with the blonde hair, the Aes Sedai. She was, you know, hunting down those two guys at the beginning. Yeah, so
yeah, she's awful.
I guess that's not the same as the book, right? She's different to the book, because I've not read anything where they're screaming about, you know, it's all men's fault and only men can like break the world.
No, the intro, I said it in the chat already tonight, but it took me 3 tries to get to the opening credits of that show because of what they did in the opening. Prior to that, they changed the rules of the world. And there's a fundamental difference between the men and the women's. There's Sidene and Sidar, and there's the men's and the women's access to the one power.
Okay.
And it's separate. So it's not like the men taint it by touching it. It's their side, their access point to their side is already tainted. And so by changing that in the opening credits, it changes everything.
Well,
it puts
and the reason
onus on the men.
Yeah, and the reason why the male form of the magic or channeling is tainted in that world is because the dragon, who was a man, had almost won a war against their equivalent of the big bad in the Wheel of Time. But at the last moment, that big bad decided to poison the entire well of magic for all men going forward. So it was not because of men that things got ruined and destroyed and women are so virtuous. Actually, there should have been some women in those books that should have supported the men a little bit more, and maybe that wouldn't have happened, but that's debatable. But what happened was the big bad decided to use the nuclear option and to blow everything up for everyone. That was
okay. Well, you wouldn't know that from the series, would you? So you wouldn't know that.
No, men are bad and
series.
stupid. Don't you understand that? Like, all men are stupid or evil, dude. All men are stupid or evil. That's Wheel of Time. That is Wheel of Time. Let me get to this super chat. This is from my new wolf brother, sister Ruvel Arvida. This is a $5 Australian super chat. 3,441 years of fan fiction lore within the Second Age for 5 seasons. Hail to you. This is just bad fan fiction. That's all this really is, isn't it? Let me do this drop.
Not a lot. Go hit him!
Deadly.
Indeed.
Oh, are we okay? We still here?
So? No, we're still
it's
here.
The bourbon. Salty. The bourbon's taken salty.
No, that's restream. Restream can be a little buggy.
Mistaken you.
After 3 hours, the restream is starting to show a little buggy. So hail to you, Ravel Arvida.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zax.
I want to say hi to Squeakamos. Hey, Squeakamos. That's it.
Hey, cheers.
Hey.
So yeah, we're talking about 3,500 years of fan fiction lore within the Second Age for 5 seasons. That's what we're going to get. We're going to get intersectional feminism overlaid with identity politics, cross-sected with neo-Marxism. Yay. I don't even know.
What can
one
you say?
One season of Wheel of Time. And I can tell you how much that sucks. You know, so you can spend as much money you want on it if you don't build the characters. If you have, like, they're saying they're going to follow almost 24 characters within the book separated. It's just creating chuff and smoke and a whole lot of churn. So you never have to develop a character, just like Wheel of Time. And you factor in the J.J. Abrams, attachments of these showrunners, and it's just going to be a whole lot of buildup and bullshit made up tension for something that's solved within the last 30 seconds. I mean, you know how it's going to be. It's just going to be trash. Lyle Hammock for $20 says, this is my last of the night, and it is a thank you. Oh, God, you guys are amazing. Lyle, hail to you. This is my last of the night, and is a deep thank you to Salty Texas Sea for convincing me to read The Wheel of Time. I'm deep into book 5, and it is becoming my second favorite fantasy series behind The Lord of the Rings. So thank you for convincing me to read the book. Hail. Lyle, you're going to make a bitter old man weep. I tell you what, that every week I still get comments on my Wheel of Time videos where people say, I got the book and I read it, and I don't even, why did Amazon do this? And it's true, Lyle. That's what we do in fandom. We talk about what we love and we tell people to go check it out. And I'm just glad that it brings you joy. It's just, yeah. I mean, Zax, you've seen comments like this before. Gray, I know you're reading it. It's a great series. So let me dig something out of the bag of tricks for you. Here we go. This one's for you, Lyle.
Great shot, kid. That was 1 in a million.
Remember, the Force will be with you, always.
Sometimes you just got to go with the classics, man.
Yeah,
you got to go
fantastic.
with the classics. Oh, great.
Salty,
what did you think about
can I ask you a
Yeah, go ahead.
question? And
Please.
Zax as well. As you know, I'm not into. Sorry, I wasn't into Wheel of Time before, so I went into the series cold, and I saw the huge reaction, from fans like saying like, "What is going on?" They're killing the series, they're killing the books, they're butchering it. How did you feel when you watched it? Because you've gone into this, I guess, with a lot of background for Wheel of Time. Yeah, you're a big fan. What was it like? I haven't watched your videos yet, so the Wheel of Time coverage, and I'm very curious to see, like, as a fan, how did it feel when you saw the first episode? Like, even the first 30 seconds of the first episode, yeah?
Yeah. Well, I mean, my experience is not the only one. Zax has his.
Zax
and
too.
Zax too. And OBG70, who used to be part of the show, he has some really good videos as well.
Okay.
Mike's decided to go off and do other things, and I absolutely respect that. He did bring some great insights on Wheel of Time. And one thing that I found in the very first, I think it was first or second episode video that I did, was much like people have mentioned, within the first 20 seconds of the first episode, listening to the voiceover by Moiraine talking about how men are evil and it's all men's fault that everything is wrong, that's not Robert Jordan. And that was never the character of Moiraine. And that was like the entire show is essentially set spinning off on some bizarre trajectory that is absolutely 100% against what Robert Jordan wrote. And here's the thing, it never comes back from that. What it then goes from, like, men are bad to, it then runs down the hallway of CW intersectionalism and CW level young adult soap opera writing. Zax, you had your own experience, but am I overstating that? I don't think so.
No, first of all, good night to Purple Valkyrie. Thanks for being here all night.
Oh, good night.
Good
Purple.
night.
And we will see you tomorrow.
Thank you. Yeah, hail to you.
Yeah,
Purple's
I had
still
my
great
experience.
to work with. Go ahead.
I've kind of gone through it already tonight, but it was painful to watch, and eventually I had to hate watch it. That was the only way I could get through it, and I decided I'm just going to watch this, and and that's actually kind of how I got into all of this, was talking with you and Mike and about the show, because people I knew in real life and online seemed to like it, and I couldn't understand why. And then I found you guys, and now here we are. So yeah, it being a horrible show worked out well for me, I gotta say. So I'm okay with it now. It still sucks.
It's true. And to answer your question, Gray, and then we can move on, is Wheel of Time is what brought me back to a channel that I had walked away from, because I found myself making videos that I was just trying to do what everybody else was doing, and that to me is not the reason to do YouTube.
Right.
When I came back to YouTube, I think I had 5 or 6 months left before my opportunity to monetize was gone. I never, ever thought I would be monetized. Like, it just seemed like an impossible thing. And then I found something that I had this amazing emotional connection to, and an amazing clarity for me that I wanted to speak to, absolutely focused. And when I did that, I was shocked at the response, and I'm still getting comments on those videos from, God, what is it, 5-6 months ago now? So, is there a secret to doing YouTube? Yeah, get out of your own way and just talk about what you love in your own voice, and that's a lot harder than you think.
Yeah,
You know?
share your passion. That's it, mate.
Yeah.
Share your passion.
Yeah, that's just my opinion on it anyway. So I think we're caught up on the super chats. Do I owe anybody anything, Zach? You like to keep me honest. I think we're okay. There's TRW 1974. Again, go check out TRW 1974. Made me a really cool little tribute video. I just thought it was cool. And plus I love funk and Stax, R&B from back in the day. So, okay. Oh my God, we got Lyle just popped one in here. Is this right? Did we get this one?
This is another last one.
Lyle, you're an animal. You don't have to do that. Lyle, hail to you, big papa. This is another $5 super chat. It says, truly, this is my last. Is Mrs. Hammock going to beat you to death? This is truly my last, but I dread how they are going to treat, oh God, the Forsaken, especially Lanfear, who is my favorite villain in the series. Hail to you. So what Lyle Hammock is talking about is, as you progress to the Wheel of Time books, there are the Forsaken, which were the imprisoned cohorts of the big bad in the Wheel of Time series. And as the books evolve and has Rand al'Thor, the Dragon Reborn, spoiler alert, the Dragon Reborn is always a male, as the books progress, and Gray you're going to find, is there are these people who acted with the big bad of the Wheel of Time. Now, Lanfear was an incredibly beautiful, there's really, I run out of adjectives, just got to say it that way, very beautiful woman who is madly in love with Rand al'Thor almost obsessively. Now, Zax, am I mischaracterizing that, or is that how you perceive Lanfear as
100% yes.
And I saw the casting, or what we perceive to be for the casting for this, and we'll see. But it comes down to this. If the story is crap and you haven't developed characters over your first season, why would anybody tune into the second season? I mean, other than YouTubers making videos about it. There's no characters that you want to watch because these characters haven't been developed. You know? I'm going to give you this. Go ahead, Zach.
Oh no, I just said that's right. I wanted to, if it's all right, TRW had 1974 had left a comment on my channel. I did the video for the teaser for Rings of Power, and I just liked it. I really got a kick out of his comment. So he said, "The cringe exuding from that guy is more than just self-consciousness. What you are seeing is a visual representation of the notorious mental gymnastics that usually happens within the mind of a social justice warrior when confronted with reality. You can actually see his hands trying to convince each other." I love it.
I'll tell you what, TRW 1974 is right on that, because it's a kind of weirdo, it's a circular logic that actually goes off a cliff, if you can imagine that. So
what was that? Sorry, what was that referencing? I missed it. Go man.
Oh, that was about the teaser, the Ring of Power teaser, and
okay,
I made a video
thanks.
about it, and making fun of the super fans. And so
the super fans one. Oh God, yeah.
The super fan host, the way he uses his hands all the time.
He's doing tells. He's giving tells, isn't he? Basically.
Pretty much. Yeah, that's right.
I got one more video, and I think we're probably going to wrap it up, you guys, unless there's somebody who's managed to hack my security. So this is for Lyle Hammock, and we started the show with this, and I think it's appropriate we maybe end the show with this.
For Frodo.
Oh, this has been so much fun. Gray, thank you so much for coming on the show. You are a joy to work with, and it was so much fun to meet with you the other day, and then also be on that 70s Rock Fan show. Dude, you have a great experience of music, and I hope we both get to be invited on his show again. But
oh yeah, that would be awesome. Yeah.
I had a lot of fun tonight, and I'm not going to speak for Zax, but you are always welcome here. You're a lot of fun to work with. I have a lot of respect for your perspectives on fandom. I am so glad you brought up the comicsology stuff tonight. And I like I said, you're wonderful to work with, and I know you are going to be you're going to get to that 1,000 subscriber target very quickly. You are a very talented. No, really, you are criminally undersubbed. You're a good guy.
Step
so
by
shout out
step.
your channel.
Thanks,
shout out
man.
your channel. Talk about what you're doing. Where can who are you going to be talking to next?
Okay, well, again, thank you so much, Salty and Zax. Thanks for the invite, first of all. I've had a great time. I've been so excited about this show, all week, looking forward to it. A little bit nervous too, because I'm new to streaming, as you know. So you can find me at
me.
No, seriously. Like
honestly, you're
when
amazing.
you found me with Max, that was only the second time we streamed together. I went on his channel the first time, then he came on mine the second, and I was just like, Max, I don't really know what I'm doing, but let's just try, let's go for it. He's like, yeah, no worries, mate. And he took me through the basics. He was so, so kind, so generous, great teacher.
That's a great story. I would have never guessed that, Greg. You're a natural, seriously.
No, not at all. And very shy. Used to be a very shy person, but you just got to put yourself out there. And as you were saying before, Salty, find something that you're passionate about and share that passion, because people can tell when it's bullshit. People can tell when you're just, making it up, or you're just trying to get clicks, whatever, don't they? They know. They're not stupid.
Yeah, as we saw with the Amazon trailer. Just it's bullshit. Sorry, go ahead, Zax.
No, I was going to say, it's too bad that how it works usually is that something has to piss you off enough to make a video. It's not the other way around. Normally it's not. But it is true.
Yeah.
And so I try to highlight things that I like as well, and make sure that if I'm making fun of something, I'm not making fun of the people who like it, because like what you like, I like some dumb shit. So there's nothing wrong with that.
Oh, me too. Well, we all do, mate. We all do, don't we? And it's weird how the kind of angrier videos seem to get the more clicks, isn't it? That's strange. I mean, you can make a more general, deeper comment about society, can't you? But I try to stay positive. I'm big into positivity, and like you say, if I find fault with something, I'll try and explain why. And I'm not the most clued up guy, I'm not that clever. I just try and give my general real opinion. That's it. That's all you can do, isn't it?
That's why I wanted to bring you on. And I'm just going to call this out real quick. Punk Waddle has been here every show. I shout you out in the credits at the end. I try and mention it. But Punk Waddle, you have been doing the Lord's work tonight as usual. And I just want to say thank you. He's a really good guy. We talk on Twitter during the week. But I just want to acknowledge that. Thank you so much, Punk Waddle. You are a rock star. So hail to you.
Absolutely. God,
it's just amazing. Like you were saying, Gray, the generosity and kindness and people helping each other out. It's there's some good in this world, to quote Sam, and it's worth fighting for. And I think that's what we're doing in our own ways in our fandoms,
Yes. It's brought us together. It's created a really, really good fellowship, however small we might be. I think that's one of the best things about YouTube that I've found so far. It's put me in contact with Max, with you, with people who watch my shows now, like people I would never have met otherwise. It's so good. It's very humbling.
Yeah, just like my wolf sister here, Kaylee. She says, thanks for the great show, folks, and hail to the Wolf Clan.
Hey.
These are great people, man. I mean, we're just all hanging out together and trying to shelter and gatekeep our fandom the way that we can and speak truth to that. So hail to you. When is your next show, Gray? I know you did a great comic book review. I think it was on Aquaman today or yesterday, and that was pretty solid if I remember correctly.
I'm hoping to do a review of the new, Gunslinger Spawn issue, which comes out Wednesday. So today in Japan, but what day is it? Is it Tuesday night where you are, Salty?
It is Tuesday night in Texas. Yes, sir.
Okay.
Another hour left in Texas. Yes, sir.
So that's released on Wednesday officially, but it comes out early in Japan because of the time difference. Also, I want to try and get you guys on one of my shows if it's possible, but it'll have to be a weekend sometime, with the time difference.
Absolutely.
Today's a rare occasion where I've got a weekday off, so that's great. So yeah, please come on. Let's have a chat. Let's have a laugh together about Amazon breaking the world. Or was that Wheel of Time?
No,
breaking the world.
They're busy breaking a lot of things, so you can apply that to any fandom you want. So
yeah, absolutely.
Hail to you. Thank you so much for coming on, Gray. Zax, do you have anything that you want to shout out? You have been putting out some really great videos lately, dude. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, thanks. I'm trying to get at least something out every day now, and
wow,
broke 200 subs, which is fantastic. And,
outstanding, brother.
I've got one video that's taken off, so that's doing well. But that's a video I didn't put a ton of effort in, honestly, about Adam Sessler. But for some reason, YouTube likes it. I'll take it. I won't complain.
Right on.
But I'm trying to find sort of my voice in it and what I really want to talk about, and what I want to hit. So right now, if something hits me, I just make a video about it and put it out there and see what people say. And I'm having fun with it. So I appreciate everyone who's subscribed and who've watched the videos. And yeah, love you guys.
Yeah, please give a subscription to our man Gray. We've been throwing his link out all night. I'll put it in the description after the show. And of course, Zax. Kyle does great work. Every time he gets a video, I'm super stoked to watch. The Thad That Shouldn't Be, who is often in our chats and is our resident lore expert for Tolkien, has a up and coming channel. He is getting his sea legs under him, and he is doing the hard part. He is starting out. So hail to you, the Thad That Shouldn't Be. Hail to my wolf brothers and sisters. You guys are amazing. Resurrection 117, Kaylee, my new Courtney's, we got Courtney as well. We also have, say it for me, will you? Oh Lord, the Deloy.
Oh, that
would be great, Deloy.
And we're not remembering the name at all.
Yeah,
I just really can't say it
just
yet.
Hit me on Twitter or Minds or Getter or Rumble with the phonetic spelling, and I will hit it up. But you guys have been amazing tonight. I look forward to this every week. It's a lot of fun, and thanks. You make my week. You guys in chat. Thanks so much, Zax, for being there. You are my wingman.
Thanks everyone.
And great. Thank you so much for coming on tonight. And
thank you. Shout out to the chat as well. The chat's been awesome. You got a load of messages today, didn't you, Salty? That's been brilliant.
It was a nerve-wracking day. But, there's a lot going on that I didn't want to talk about until it happened. But
I can't believe Doomcock came on. That's so cool. I mean, that says a lot to you as well, not just to Dino.
It's Zax and it's the Fellowship.
Well played.
Doomcock. So.
Man, we're all here for Corey. We all know it. It's fine. It's good.
Shut up, Vic.
Yeah.
No. All right, you guys. This has been fun. I am gonna have one more drink and take my dog around the block. And I just want to say thank you. Thank you to the chat for a great show. Thank you to Gray for being a great guest. Thank you to Max. Field Von Priestley, and
Max.
Thank you to Zax. All right, I'm going to play you out on the intro. You all have a great Wednesday. We'll talk to you later.
Thanks, Zax. Thanks, Salty.